We are live with your NXT review. It's Sunday, October 4th, 2020. Kyle O'Reilly has a big one down below. This is the Joe Cronin Show review for October 4th, NXT TakeOver 31. I got it all out. I think I got everything out. Yeah, I did. This is like fight music right now for me. If you're in the chat, I hope you hit that like button right now so we get that out of the way. Give a shot to that like button. We would like that very much. What do you think about TakeOver? I'm looking at the chat. I like to see those thumbs ups or out of 10, 5 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 4 out of 10. Can't believe it'd be 5 out of 10. That'd be a little wild, right? You know, that'd be a little crazy. But pretty solid night, I think. Pretty solid night, I think, for NXT TakeOver. We're going to have some stuff to talk about tonight. May have some gaming going on later on, but right now it's all wrestling with NXT. We got the Halloween Havoc announcement, which obviously is a Wednesday night, so that's going to take place on a Wednesday night to compete with AEW. Halloween Havoc on an AEW. Interesting. And while we wait for people to get in here for the NXT review, Jake, what do you think about Halloween Havoc on a Wednesday night going up against AEW?
It's going to be hosted by Shotzi Blackheart, so that's interesting.
So they're going with the Elvira thing. That's what I think that reminds me of.
That's kind of how I perceived it as well. I mean, they haven't used this old IP in ages. The fans have been clamoring for it for a long time now. And it's not because WWE is listening to the fans. It's because they know that they have to hotshot something against AEW. So this is going to be just like the Great American Bash. You know, hopefully they do something special for it. Hopefully we get like, you know, the pumpkin set back or something custom, and hopefully they go all out. But I don't know. These weekly things don't feel too original.
Do you think that giant pumpkin was sold on auction somewhere, or do you think WWE actually owns that and they're going to drag that thing out of store? If they get, that's all they need is that. They have that on the stage. That'll just be enough right there.
Just like the house for In Your House was cool to see that stage set, you know? So, yeah, that'd be awesome if they have that, or at least to recreate it somehow.
Right.
Because that's one of the most, you know, iconic WCW sets that they've had.
Yeah, that'd be it'd be really cool, man. I think that'd be fun. It's gonna help them get some new fans, or not new.
Definitely steal some fans from
not,
AEW.
Not new fans, yeah, not new fans, but yeah, gonna get them some more fans over there. Jesus
no doubt
Christ.
about it.
I don't know why my dog is barking upstairs, but it can't be good. Right as I start the show, there's barking and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so NXT
right off the bat. Before we even talk about the show, I just want to talk about the Capitol Wrestling Center. What do you think about that being announced in the name? And does it do anything for you? Do you care? I'm just curious.
Give me a hell yeah!
No.
7.5 for me. I liked opening match cruiserweight and women's. I hope Halloween Havoc set is back. I was hoping the mystery person was Tessa, but Imkulemba is back. Shotzi turns me on.
Yo, Alexis, sweet ass, thank you. Yeah, it was pretty cool. 7.5 is a solid score. You know, I think a lot of people are around that score right now for the show tonight, and it's a good amount. Hang on a minute, Jake. I gotta go figure out what the fuck is going on in my house. I'll be right back.
Alrighty, yeah. You know, I really, you know, I wasn't crazy passionate about them calling it the Capitol Wrestling Center. You know, I understand the lineage, and I'm glad at least they acknowledged what they were doing and said how, you know, this is the history that we have. This is why this is important to us. This is how, we're going to be able to set these things up. And I really like the look of the center. It's a hybrid Thunderdome with actual fans in attendance. They set up pandemic pods in the CWC, the Capital Wrestling Center for TakeOver tonight. Each spectator pod had about 10 chairs, a dozen water bottles, paper towels, and hand sanitizer. So, hey, all right, that's your party assortment, and don't eat it all at one time. Maybe you get some crackers. I don't know. It was noted, though, it says here that it appears there will be additional opportunities for fans in coming weeks to go, so that's good. This is coming from Fightful Select, of course. But fans didn't have chairs for the show, as we saw, and I like the look of it. I like the cage in front of the plexiglass. It made it feel unique, and I appreciate that they went for something. I really enjoyed, the lights. I wish they could add pyro there. I think the Performance Center won't allow for it, but that would be something if they could do even a small-scale stuff of pyro. But the lights and the virtual fans added with the real fans, it was a good feel to the show tonight. One of the better pandemic shows that they've had yet, I feel like. Plus the surprise announcement of Toni Storm coming back, and then everyone was so focused on this being a male champion because we said we were getting a former NXT champion to return, and it would all but seem like Bo Dallas was the one that fit, since every other champion was preoccupied, busy, or not returning. And lo and behold, it was the women's division the whole time that was getting someone to return. Ember Moon is back, and I could not be happier. I've always liked Ember Moon. We wanted to see her, Joe and I, in the WWE for ages. And when she finally arrived, she had a pretty decent run in NXT. And then, unfortunately, the main roster was plagued with a lot of missteps and injuries. And her last injury, it was possibly career-ending. So being able to see her back is really enlightening and certainly a big plus for me tonight. And the fact that they treated her, in such a a certain sense of prestige. They made it seem important rather than, just trot her back and say, oh, she's back on a Wednesday. They after the women's championship match, and there's the big reveal, when they could have saved it for the weekly product to try and, pop a ratings pop. They could have said, oh, the returning champion is revealed this Wednesday. So I'm glad that they just thought of doing something for the fans rather than trying to pop a rating. And it worked well. And now maybe people will want to tune in more to NXT because no matter how you stack it here, NXT really does have the best women's division around right now.
Yeah, the NXT, they haven't left that position yet. Nobody's been able to do better than the NXT women. I thought this women's match tonight was maybe the second best of the year for women. Don't know. Maybe there was another one. I really liked the
match until not because of Io won, and because I wanted to see Candice win, but it was as soon as she hit her in the face with the title belt and she kicked out.
Mm-hmm. Too many kickouts.
Took me out of it.
So many kickouts the whole night.
A lot of kickouts, and like I said, she hit her clean in the face with the title belt. Should have been knocked out. Such a quick cover right after too, and the fact that she was able to kick out after taking so much abuse before that, just I don't know, it broke me for a few minutes.
It was a little too much. She should have lost, or they shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done the title shot, or she should have hit her like in the leg with the title or something like that. She couldn't hit her in the face, but she hit her in the leg. It took her legs out.
She should not have hit her in the head with it. No, because that either makes her look like a Terminator or it weakens the using the belt as a weapon.
Yeah, you would think if you get hit in the head with a steel plate, that that's pretty much it. You would think you'd be in trouble with that. Alexa Sweet Ass, thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. Email. I don't know what this is. I don't know what the hell. What? I don't know. Somebody was messaging me on Twitter. I'm not really sure what that means. But yeah, no. So are you already on the women's match or?
No, I was just talking about the additions tonight.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about the big news being that Ember Moon is back, and we got Toni Storm making her full NXT debut.
What do you think's up with that? Because Ember looked like she was out forever because she was injured, and then.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm glad because it was possibly career ending her previous injury. We weren't sure what was going to be the deal with her, and I'm thankful that she's back. They treated her like a very big deal, and I can't wait to see her return on TV.
Why is she back here, you think? Because that she couldn't get something on the main roster, or because Like,
I mean, they never knew what to do with her on the main roster at all. She had no guidance whatsoever. She just floated from spot to spot. And the thing was, Vince and others noted she's getting a positive reaction. She was over with the crowd. She was totally directionless. So maybe Hunter asked her back. Maybe she requested to be back. I'd love to hear more on it for sure. I'm sure we'll hear more this coming week now that we know that she's the one returning.
maybe she wasn't sad about the fact that she was maybe injured for a life career-ending thing. Maybe she was angry that she was kind of not, that once she was better, they didn't have anything for her, so they didn't bring her back.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what she was mad about. Maybe there wasn't I don't know. I mean, I know she was injured, and we thought she would come back, but I mean, they really made it seem like, oh shit, my career's over. And there's been so many other people where that's happened to them so you believe it, because you're like, okay, that happened to Paige, that happened to Daniel Bryan for years. It's happened to a lot of people, so maybe that's happened here with Ember, and it just happened with what was it, Jordan, Kurt Angle's son. Jason Jordan, yeah. So that happened with him. A lot of young people, It's crazy that Jason Jordan is not wrestling. That still blows my mind. So this can happen to anybody. Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, there's a lot of kickouts, a lot of false finishy things. They always do that, but when there's no crowd or less crowd, it's kind of more noticeable. So I always think they need to dial it back a little bit. Without a crowd reaction, it's sort of just like, geez, again, all right.
It had a very big fight feel too, and I really liked Io Shirai reversing a lot of what Candice was trying to put forth initially. That was really cool. Like anything you can do, I can do better. They had those moments back and forth where, all right, Candice is going to do a springboard off the ropes. Now Io is going to do it, but she's going to do it off the second rope and do it even better. So I like them. Anything you can do, and they just kind of sold each other up time after time.
Time after time, you can lick, you can suck, you can go in me. Sorry. So yeah, I liked it too. So where should we start, or where do you want to go back to?
We'll start right at the beginning. We'll kick it off, and I was just complimenting how really great the building looked. It looked unique. I like the virtual hybrid setup that they have. You got some Thunderdome, some fans. The fans were not overly loud, but they need to mic them up a little bit more if that's all they're going to be able to let in.
Yeah, the background
but they were still
noise,
effective at times.
The background noise, like crowd pumped in noise to go along with the actual
the Thunderdome stuff. Yeah,
the 30 people there and everything. I thought it was a nice little mix. At least it had something, because of that. I didn't mind. I liked the mix of stuff. I thought this was the best NXT sounded. It was better. They did have the glass up still, and then they had the cage on top of the glass to give it a more, I don't know, dangerous feel or whatever you want to say.
It had a good aesthetic. The cage being there was a good look rather than just having the plexiglass to stare at, the reflection that's sloppily, put up. So I like the look.
I will also say that NXT, man, the interest in NXT is so far down. It's something I do. Not that I want to go. I don't want to deliver a negative. I'm not trying to deliver a negative right now, but I feel like I need to sort of report this because I'm very familiar with the numbers of everybody who talks about NXT and all the reviewers and all the YouTubers and everybody else and the podcasters and the numbers and the stories and everything all around. I'm very, I know the numbers because I don't watch because I'm necessarily worried about my numbers versus what everybody else is doing or saying or whatever. A little bit, like I wonder, like, how am I doing? Okay. It wasn't as interesting a couple of years ago when it was just me and like 3 other people, but now there's like 20,000 people to watch. But I am noticing this. The numbers right now, I can tell you this. The numbers are down 3 times. 3 times the amount of the number of normal people that watch an NXT review or an NXT post show. They're down 3 times across the board. That is unbelievable. Like when you really think about it. Like at this point, it's really pretty shocking. Okay? Like very, very, very shocking to me. Those numbers are shocking. I'm going to keep an eye on some of the, what goes on. But Anyway, what's up, guys? I'm glad you're here with us. We got more as we start to get into NXT. We want to hear from you. I'm going to open the phone lines in just a little bit here. We want to hear from you if you can via donation if you want to. Super chat down below as always. The $ is there. You guys will fund my content, so please feel free to do so. The $ down below, super chat, or you guys can do Streamlabs Twitch alerts, which is in the description box below. The link is there. And then way at the bottom, all the donations are listed for you if you want to have some fun with that. I encourage you to have fun with that. 30% goes to Google if you do super chat. So a lot of people like to do Streamlabs Twitch alerts. Whatever you do is fine with me, man. It's all going to feed me food, so it's all appreciated. But we are going to get right into this, man. Yeah, the set, I agree, Jake. Nice set, nice change. I don't think it was anything crazy. Like I saw people on Twitter like, "Oh my God, it's amazing!" Like it was nice, good idea, but
yeah, but it had its own unique feel to it, and it it was familiar enough that it didn't look crazy, but it also looked enjoyable. That's the thing. I like the lights, the way that they have them set up all through the center looks nice, and it's certainly everything added to the show. So I'll give them that much. Now, one thing that I will say was a detractor was I don't know if it's something that they could help or just something they couldn't remedy tonight. I don't know if they were live, if this was just delayed, if this was recorded and then aired, but Vic Joseph was the on-site commentator, and they said that in the beginning. I missed that fact when they first went live because Wade Barrett and Beth Phoenix were not there, but they were commentating. I don't know if they were in the back, if they were remote, Skyping in.
This has been going on the show on Wednesday too, where Vic and Wade are next to each other and Beth is somewhere else.
Yeah,
that's every
week.
Wade
wasn't there either, which was odd.
But the weird thing about the whole thing is that Vic Joseph was bizarre tonight. I don't know if he was. But he was like, he would miss moves, like so he would not call a move sometimes. Like when there was like he would call a setup move like loudly. He'd be like, "Hand off the rope," and then like somebody would get hit, and then he'd miss the call of the impact, and then he would just call the count. It was just weird.
He had some moves wrong entirely.
It was just
Bálor
weird. The timing was
but
wrong.
He was also being played through the audience too. You could hear him, so it was echoing.
Yeah,
so,
there was audio was weird. He was behind. He was delayed.
I don't know if they were like he was behind because he was there in person. So I don't know if he was behind because his other commentators were behind, so he had to wait for them to like load per se.
Well, no,
like
I think what's going on. Yeah, I think what's going on is because the others are in a different location or not there or something. That they're syncing up the streams, so he's not watching the ring.
So there's a delay for him.
Right, he's being synced up to a stream with them, so they all sound live. Or, you know what I mean? Whatever the word is that I'm trying to think.
Yeah, and then on top of it, like I said, his audio is being blared through the the center, and it's like, it was so frustrating, so very frustrating because everything he said you just heard repeated constantly.
I mean, I can't stand him anyway on commentary, but it was weird and it was ugly. I don't know what commentary is. I mean, listen, without Mauro Ranallo or without somebody that actually has like a lot of passion, Vic Joseph's, when he's excited, it always sounds the same. It's the same 7 out of 10 excitement from Vic Joseph. And when he's just describing matches, he's fine because he's got that great announcer cadence guy, like reporter guy. But it's always monotone. It's always monotone. 3 out of 10 when he's commentating. It's never anything like I feel like when you're good on commentary, you have different levels all over the place that you can hit. You hit these different levels. And Vic Joseph always feels like he's either got the monotone regular call, which I think is like a 4 out of 10. He sounds like a sportscaster that's boring. And then when he's yelling, he just sounds underwhelming yelling. Like it's just very boring. Mauro Ranallo just blows him out of the water. I think I'm better. I think there's multiple independent wrestlers, commentators who are better. I think the Booker T's commentators down there at Booker T's place, Reality of Wrestling, I think they're better. Just so many people are better, man. I mean, I think Conan, K-Dog is better calling, just fucking commenting color, like would be better, like in this setting. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, and like Craig said in the chat too, by having two people there that weren't the other announcers, it just looked weird. It was you could tell that isn't the commentators. So having two sit-ins that look nothing like them on top of it was just very awkward. Just have no one there if that's the case.
That's my biggest criticism of the night is whatever the commentary was doing, I don't know. I mean, it was all right. It wasn't bad. I mean, they sound professional and stuff. Beth Phoenix is great. I think she's getting better and better. Beth Phoenix has emotion, and she has the emotion of like the color commentator who like is experienced, and so I like that. But then there's Wade Barrett there too, and it's like, why do we need? I don't think we need all three of these people. Like, give us a heel commentator, or something. Like, give us a heel commentator, Like, we don't need two color commentators. I don't think, but whatever. It's okay. It's not bad. Wade Barrett's all right, and Beth is all right, and I think Vic Joseph is not good. Like, he's good, but he's not good.
Wade tried to make a few heel snide comments, and then Vic would kind of like correct him almost. I got to go back and hear the specific, but I remember hearing it, and I was like,
well, that doesn't bother me if he's correcting the heel, but Wade Barrett is too tweeny.
No, he did it in a way where I'll have to go back. I gotta find the full quote, but it bothered me. I know that much. It was in the main event.
Love to hear that because I don't exactly remember. Give it a hell yeah! Donation.
Where do you guys believe Tessa ends up? Or maybe do you think she is signed and she shows up at Royal Rumble?
I don't know. Tessa Blanchard. I feel like she's a problem. I just feel like wherever she shows up, it won't be long. Because
we still don't know definitely that, people are just automatically assuming that she's definitely hired. I mean, it could be the case, but just seeing her, image in a WWE video game wasn't enough to sell me on the fact that, yeah, she's been signed. She said no, people denied it as well. It could be, it certainly could be, but I just don't see her in WWE at this point in time. Like you said, she's problematic, and I don't know if they want that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Wherever she goes, like, it just a breakdown occurs. So, like, I almost don't care. I don't care where she goes because I don't think it will last long, whatever it is. I mean, it could be wrong, but I don't know. I'm just not that excited. I mean, NXT would really be good with her because, I mean, obviously, like, AEW would be really good with her. If she could be in AEW, that would be huge for them because their division is in trouble. Like, they need somebody like this. Tessa Blanchard against Io Shirai, or if they bring in Thunder Rosa full-time or more constant, I don't know. They have nobody. I mean, but, if Tessa Blanchard comes to NXT, there's so many people she can wrestle. Like, that will be something really interesting. But, AEW needs to hire her, but I don't think it'll be as interesting because she doesn't have as much stuff to do. So, I don't know. But yeah, obviously AEW or NXT, either way, somebody's division gets better if they bring her in. But who knows how long it will last because everybody hates her for whatever reason. Yeah. You don't know the reason exactly.
When I was a kid, I used to shove quarters up my asses when I was a kid.
Wait a minute.
I was full of change, definitely.
Wait a minute. Did you just say that when you were a kid, you used to shove quarters up your ass?
Yes, and I would poop them out as a kid.
I put the quarters in me. My name is Tommy NC. I put the quarters in me. I put the quarters in me. I put quarters in me. My name is Tommy NC. Put the fucking quarters in me.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to shove quarters up my asses when I was a kid.
7/10 tonight. Kyle O'Reilly's Becca sticking out of his ass crack had me dying. So happy Ember Moon returned, but I ain't a fan of that haircut. Halloween Havoc coming back after almost 20 years doesn't feel real, but I am fucking pumped.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the real Halloween Havoc, let's be honest. It's a little theme thrown on an NXT thing, but I like it. I'm happy about it. Soundwave92. Thank you, Soundwave92. That is the top donation of the stream. So shout out to Soundwave, man, so much for that. Thank you. Everybody give love to Soundwave in the chat because he's wet right now. Thank you for the donation, man.
Hell yeah.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. I can get him up there. Okay, Soundwave. I also want to shout out Luis Antonio Alejandro because he is the king of the wheel for Monetize this week. So shout out to him for being legendary, man. Unbelievable. He sounds like a woman, but he's amazingly the champion and the king, baby. He was great on Corrupted the other night. Patreon is still having problems today, by the way. They hit me up and they're like, yeah, we're trying to figure it out. It's on, it's up, it's down, it's off. It's all Patreon's a mess. But yeah, let's go to the king, man. And so thank you to the king. And Soundwave is the top donator right now. That is the largest donation of the stream. Where were we? I totally lost myself.
We're starting. So with Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Championship. Priest defending. This match was better than it had any right to be. I initially wasn't thrilled with Gargano getting a chance at the title when he just went for the main belt. But then you're like, you know what? He's served a lot of time in NXT. He's done a lot. And yeah, he's earned that spot of, a Pride champion. And I was like, yeah, it fits. And then what they did for the story this past week, really sold me into it. So I was impressed by this match. I did assume that Damian Priest would go over, and that's the way it worked out to be. I still would like to see both Garganos at this point in time hold titles. I think that could be really interesting, but we'll see what the future holds. What did you think of the match, though?
I just thought I've seen it a million times where two guys start NXT off and they kind of have a million. I felt like this match really relied on the false finish, or really relied on the, oh, he almost got him, kick out. Oh, he almost got him. Oh, you can't believe it.
A lot of near falls.
Yeah, so to me, I wasn't that impressed with this match because it's an opening match to me should be this just knockdown, drag out, sort of exciting opening war with a few pin attempts, and then you have this great match and it ends a certain way that's exciting, and you really don't do the false finish thing a million times in the first match of the night. So huge mistake in my opinion. Now it helped the match. Maybe the match would have been worse if they hadn't done that. But what it did do was desensitize me? It sort of desensitized me to the rest of the night. Similar to like in Star Trek or something like that when the Borg, you know what I mean? They would adapt or whatever you call it. Oh, baby, oh my God, this is all over the place in ice. You got to get something different. I'm sorry. And it was like, okay, they blew their load right away. Now they had pretty good chemistry. It was an interesting match. It was nice. I thought it was like a 7. So NXT terms, I thought it was like a 6 out of 10 match. WWE main roster terms, it's like a 7 or a 7.5 because like the Raw, Raw is so bad. SmackDown is usually so bad. Although SmackDown's had this nice story. So, I don't know. I thought it was I gave it a 6 out of 10 because they really relied on the false kickouts too many times, and I just thought there was too much of it. So that's the negative. The positive is it was still good. So I thought nice opening match, but just way too much, on the beginning. Now, maybe if there had been a big crowd, they've done this before. They've done this a million times. Tag team matches opening up NXT TakeOver, false finishes, the crowd's going crazy, somebody wins, oh, it's on fire. That's the style of NXT. But for me, it's getting a little bit old, and, with no crowd, the false finishes don't work as well because the crowd is there, but it's not like a live, sold-out crowd, and you're doing this, and a lot of times the oh my God, he kicked out thing doesn't work as well, and when you see it a million times, you sort of getting desensitized to a cover and a pin, and so it gets to the point that when someone does win, you go, oh shit, somebody won. I can't even believe it because I just got too used to seeing people kicking out of pins. So it's, I don't know. It was an all right opening, 6 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I gave it a 7. I enjoyed it a little bit more. I could even see a 6.5 for myself, but I'm basically where you are. The false finishes just really made it kind of a bit lackluster. The finish was cool. I liked the blocking and reversal into the reckoning, so that was good.
Yeah, there was a lot of. I actually kind of, unfortunately, I didn't write stuff down tonight. I wish I did. This was one of those nights where I'm having trouble remembering everything that happened, which some nights I usually do remember most things, or I write some things down a lot of times. Tonight, I did not write anything down. And and I kind of wish I did, because I kind of forget those little moments that I thought of in my head of, oh, that was really cool, or that wasn't, but I have it playing in the background on repeat again as we're talking about it, so I'm just, anything that comes up, I'll try to bring it up, but, I just couldn't do it. But I did like, also, it felt like the crowd was on top of the ring, so that's something, too, I did want to mention and kind of give Triple H and whoever helped design this, I don't know if it was Triple H or other people helped design it, too, but, like, whoever really worked on this set, it gave the feeling of the old Garden, Boston Garden and other places like that, that would do... that used to have, when a hockey game took place, it felt like the balcony was kind of overlooking the rink, and it felt like the fans were on top of the hockey players or basketball players, in certain, the old Nassau Coliseum, maybe, the Boston Garden, the old... Well,
even Coliseums like that, too.
Madison Square Garden is still kind of like that, but it's so big that they still are further away. But it's just that feeling of you're overhanging on top of everybody. So the people's faces on the boards above everybody was kind of like they were on top of the ring. So I really enjoyed that. Some of the moves Damian Priest hit on Gargano on the outside were really cool. I think one of the ones that I do remember is the Razor's Edge on the hardest part of the mat on the outside. That was kind of cool. It was a nice move. I thought these guys had good chemistry with each other. They could probably go again. So yeah, I think I'm giving it a 6 out of 10, and I think I'm probably being hard on it because I'm being a jaded prick. But like it was, but it was nice though. It just wasn't, I kind of wasn't fully into it because I thought there was just too many false finishes. But it was good
it
stuff.
took away from your engagement. Me as well. Then we had Kushida and Velveteen Dream. And yet again, Fire Velveteen Dream lights up Twitter, and blows up on social media.
I'm telling you, man. I'm sorry, guys. WWE, you got to come up with a better evidence. And you're gonna have to come up with. I know that doesn't make any sense, but you're gonna have to figure this out. Make a statement.
You're gonna have to do something because sweeping this under the rug is not working. And you see it on the local type trends for your interest and stuff. Hashtag Fire Velveteen Dream. It's being reported on wrestling websites. They don't want this kind of coverage every time they feature him on NXT or a Takeover.
Right.
And Kushida ends up being the one to have a heel turn at the end, not Dream. Who probably could have used it with the way his real life situation is working out. It might have behooved him to go ahead and be set up as a heel, but that's not the case.
Yeah, I just think they should have done something to come out there and announce it. I know that it's ridiculous and people are sick of it, hearing it in like SJW, I know, but it really just feels like people are not going to move on unless they come up with something.
Even with all that aside, though, still not a bad match. Kushida is the star here, obviously, and I love the fact that Kushida not only, no-sold, and usually I'm not a big fan of no-selling, but it was the way he did it. He no-sold the Dream Valley driver and immediately went into his submission, the hoverboard lock. Really great ending. And then, of course, he beats up Dream to the point where he's crying for Kushida to stop. So how do you not enjoy that?
Yeah, I know.
That's an old heel turn when you make a wrestler cry. Didn't he even call for his mother? I think he did.
Yeah, I didn't hear it. I didn't
Could have sworn he's mom.
That's hilarious, but I didn't hear it. I don't know. I thought Kushida was funny, yeah, when Velveteen Dream came out dressed like, I didn't even know it. I didn't even know what he was doing. I saw the biohazard gloves and I was like, what's he doing? Is this a thing for COVID or something? And it wasn't until finally Beth Phoenix. Nobody said anything about it. And then Beth Phoenix finally was like, oh, he's the Doc,
Yeah, it's supposed to be Back to the Future.
And he called him Marty. That was funny. Or he said, like, I'm going to send you back in time. But, like, Beth was the only one that caught that, and she caught it at the very end of the entrance. Otherwise, it would not have been mentioned.
I had no clue.
Yeah, Morrow would have said something. Morrow,
because he's supposed to be Doc Brown because Kushida's got the Marty McFly gear going on. So that he's obviously kind of poking fun at him at the same time, but yeah,
it's it was an all right match again. I love Kushida. He just has so much charisma in the ring. He does remind me a little bit of a mini Shawn Michaels like type of guy.
I love the way that he just like bolted away. Forget my entrance, just immediately going for the attack. That was great as well.
Yeah, good stuff. Bigger guy he's facing. He really made it believable. I thought that he could try to take down Dream. There was some good moments. I thought it was a nice match. I'm trying to remember some of the things again out of my head, but I just, overall I thought it was nice. I thought they had a good little promo for him too about new country, and he's obviously he can speak the English enough to pass that off in the in the footage that they had of him, and it's like, pandemic, I'm in a new country, I got hurt right away when I got here. Now I'm finally in here, and I'm facing this douchebag who's dressing up like Doc Brown, mocking me dressing up like... But I love that Velveteen Dream always has some dig or some kind of weird, troll on his opponents, almost all the time, or on somebody. Velveteen Dream is always trolling something, and I don't like his white jean pants. I wish he was going back to the tights. I liked his old tights that he used to have. I like that he always had this Hulk Hogan Macho Man infused theme, because it reminded me of course, Hulk Hogan saying he didn't quite have it or whatever back on Tough Enough.
Yeah, Tough Enough.
And sort of him using that as a fuel, like F you, I'm going to mock you now because you said I couldn't make it. I don't know. I thought that was nice. I liked it. But I do like that he's trolling people every match. And again, like I said, if people want to say that he's a pedo or a pedophile or he's whatever, well, take him to court then. Somebody prove it. So I'm just going to move on myself because I don't care, because take him to court or prove it, or somebody show something besides what we've seen that I don't know, is inconclusive, I guess, and the FBI investigated, so if they did, he'd be in trouble now. So I'm assuming he's clean. But WWE obviously is dealing with trouble from a lot of fans, and not even SJW fans, not even people who are normally SJW types. There are people who legit think there might be a problem.
I'm certainly, not one to try and, silence anybody or anything of that sorts, but it's an uncomfortable feeling because the evidence was damning for, a lot of it that was the thing, most of it just didn't add up. It didn't make sense. And for what he admitted to as well. Oh, I was hacked. Okay, so you got pictures coming out, but then the audio recordings and things it didn't look good. So,
I mean, no doubt, there's no doubt that
either for interviews at any sort in time. So that's a bad look.
And also, too, if it's the thing that I said, why not come out and just say that? He sort of said that, but he didn't really. So we know that wrestlers have been hacked. Right? Wrestlers have been hacked a bunch recently in the last 5 years. They've all been hacked. Page leaks, all the other leaks of other people. The Page thing was an inside job, actually. But, most of the other wrestlers' leaks have come from hacker groups and people like that getting into the iClouds and those things. So when Dream said, yeah, that's me, and I have sent that photo, but not to this person, I don't know what this is. You would think he'd come out and say, well, somebody hacked my phone and then set this up, did this, and I didn't do that. So they obviously set me up, sent that to people. So you're telling me that somebody hacked his, regardless, somebody sent a photo. Anyway, let's move on from this. I don't want to get back in this conversation again, but the fact of the matter is that people won't shut up about it. And I keep hearing about it every single time we talk about Velveteen Dream, and it's actually pissing me off. I want to know what the hell's going on, and they say nothing, so I'm going to go with nothing for now. You know what I mean? If there was something going on, then they should figure it out. If they don't figure it out, then I'll tell you what, if something did happen and it comes out later on, I will I will never stop raging about this. I will burn this thing to the ground. Now, if they came out and got rid of him tomorrow, or if they came out with something tomorrow and said, you know what, this is weird, we figured something out, he's done, then I'd be like, all right. But if nothing happens, good, because it seems like nothing happened. But if something did happen and more comes out and he's still there, they're gonna have a big problem on their hands. And I love Velveteen Dream, and it pisses me off that this great talent, this great thing that we had that I was looking forward to is so tarnished right now. It's super tarnished. You got people
They're
fighting
ruined.
with each other about whether it is or isn't, and all these other things. So, it's
And I
just
like, what the trans said. It's not just SJW stuff. It's human decency. You want to make sure the guy isn't a pedophile or anything of the sorts. It's an uncomfortable situation, unfortunately.
But again, what if he didn't, it's like if he didn't do
Very
anything.
well may not be. And I don't know. Like you said, those other people that we've seen accused, even within WWE, faced everything so head on and ahead of things, and he's made no real statement. I mean, just so many things don't look right. Defend yourself, please. Say why you're innocent.
Yeah, it's almost like I really want him to come out and say, these sick people,
People are sick. I didn't do this. All he said was initially once that, that was the picture of him, but he was hacked.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man.
No hack was proven. No, you know what I mean? Like,
we got to move on. This is just too much. I know I brought it up, but we got to.
Santos Escobar, the cruiserweight champion.
Oh, wait a minute. Do
Isaiah
we really wrap this up with this match, or what did you like the match? I don't think we talked about it with you. He hit the Purple Rainmaker. Purple Rainmaker.
I said, I usually am not big into no selling, but I really love the ending with the no sell from the Dream Valley driver, and that went right into the rolling of the hoverboard lock. It looked so smooth and just really, really great ending there. And I love the attack afterwards. It was brutal, and to see Dream crying was fantastic. It was just a great heel turn. So I liked this match. I liked how intense it started out. And I thought that it was, again, a bit better than I thought it was going to be between these two. So Kushida's always usually good, but I was unsure how Velveteen Dream would be. I gave this one a 7.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice match. I didn't think it was better than I thought it was going to be, and I don't think it was worse than I thought it was going to be. So I just thought it was kind of went as expected. I wish that they had
Velveteen Dream matches, especially since pandemics happened, have not been good since he came back and all this stuff. Like, I think even before, when he had the parking lot fight, I didn't care for that. The other match since his return, I didn't care
that
for.
parking lot thing. That was his worst thing ever that he ever did ever.
Yeah, so he hasn't been on a real great run.
Velveteen's hit or the reason why Velveteen can be hit or miss sometimes is because he has that kind of classic wrestling style. So if he's not hit, if things aren't meshing in a match, you kind of get this run of the mill, move sets and things like that. But I think 7 out of 10 times the Dream delivers. 7 out of 10 times, and I think this was a thumbs up, but it was on the lower of the barrel thumbs up of his. But at least it wasn't a thumbs down or anything like that. So nice match, okay stuff. Yeah. They put over Kushida. I think it makes Dream look a little weak, obviously, but.
Because Dream didn't look good with Finn Balor, I thought. I don't think he looked good with Cameron Grimes.
Well, you know what? I
Kushida.
I knew he wouldn't look good with Balor because I think Balor is a bore.
See, tonight, I didn't think Balor was a bore. I thought that match was great. You just need, a certain... Yeah. He fits better with certain styles.
Yeah, but you know what I got to say about Balor to criticize the guy? Balor works with only a certain group of people, and I'm serious. Like, this guy... he gets in the ring, does the same moves, it feel like, every time. Unless he's in there with someone super creative opposite him or like him.
Or someone he seems to really like.
Yeah. He is. I'm sorry. I am bored by Finn Balor matches. So I didn't even love this one tonight. This one was kind of brutalish, and it was a nice match for sure tonight with Balor. In fact, this is probably one of my more favorite Balor matches ever. In WWE at all, like top 10 somewhere in there. But usually Balor is a bore. I went into this match bored because I went, oh God, Balor, and Kyle O'Reilly's kind of like not a main event guy yet, to me, even though he is capable of it. And so going back to
good job tonight, they hotshotted Kyle O'Reilly right to the main event, and it was a great choice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the draft coming up, they know what they have to do. They have to keep making more stars. That's what they're doing. They're going to make him a face. Adam Cole got attacked by Ridge Holland at the end. That was a lovely addition to end this friggin' night because now you got a reason to tune in Wednesday. Look at that. Great job, WWE. Give you a reason to continue watching the weekly show. How would they get their revenge? Is Adam Cole okay? He seemed a lot worse for wear, so... Great little cliffhanger to be continued. I like that. But yeah, these two, they really beat the hell out of each other. Bloody mouths to finish the match for each of them. But we went ahead and saw these two. They started off, and it was a very mat game oriented match. They wanted to see who could maintain on top and keep control. So a lot of real specific wrestling between these two, and then they kind of went into a bit of like Muay Thai back and forth with some of their backgrounds. That was interesting, and then they started to really beat the hell out of each other, and things got stiff and harsh, and you see each other whipping them in the Irish whips left and right, and then you saw submission after submission. I liked it. I liked the way they ramped up. They start on the mat and then they worked up from there, and it just gradually got more and more intricate and creative, I thought.
Yeah, nice stuff. I think we skipped a bunch though, right? Didn't we skip the cruiserweight and the women, right?
Yeah.
So we go back to
starting with the cruiserweight match. So
this is the match that woke me up, by the way. This match woke me up. This match was the one I went, oh, wow.
Yeah, talking about it with Spaz, I thought this could easily be match of the night, and didn't disappoint. This was great. These two used to kill each other in Lucha as well. So it was what was his name in there? Killshot or something along the lines of that. But
this was great. I really thought, wow, like this match is maybe the match of the night at this point. I thought, that was the Cruiserweight Championship match was fucking fire.
Yeah, these guys, they just delivered. I really don't even want to spoil much of this match. You just need to go back and watch it. Really great stuff here. Again, like I said before with the women, these two, they just kept trying to elevate each other and one up each other. And there were some moments that were mind blowing, honestly.
Yeah, it was
that Anthem Driver finisher looked nuts, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and they had the outside interference part too, and it just got exciting. The crowd sounded some of was the most excited in this match of the night. Like I could hear it. I don't know, and you know what I mean. It must have been the real crowd because they were. I mean, I know they were playing the crowd pumped in noise or whatever, but the real crowd was making oohs and ahs at this match. More than anything I had heard all night. So
they were extremely vocal and very into everything that happened in this match. When Swerve hit the 450, I thought that was it. I thought he won it right there. That kick out was such a 2.999, kick out of 3. It was incredible.
Yeah, very nice, man. I really enjoyed it. I thought this was, it was different because. And someone, we'd have to get the stats. Maybe my perspective is off. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But I felt like this match didn't have as many pinfalls. Like, I feel like it didn't have as many pinfalls. Like, this match did not feel like it had, oh my God, kick out after kick out after kick out. It felt like it had moment after exciting thing. So it was more like one of those type of AEW Bucks matches that we'd watch or something.
No, they got the acai moonsault that went to the outside. Then they got the Fosbury flop that took them, that they were trying to showboat against each other and really, finally they got back into the ring, and it was, what'd we see? I know we got that really awesome Frankensteiner and a few really stiff lariats, and I don't think we got a 2 count until the DDT came later on when they were in the corner. When he got tangled up in the corner. That was a really cool moment because he goes ahead and climbs up on the turnbuckle just as he starts to go up, and bam, just blocks him out and hits that beautiful DDT. So really, really, really love this match. I gave this an 8.5 for this match.
Yeah, this was great. I really loved it too.
My match of the night, surely.
Yep. Yeah, I thought, nothing's going to beat this, is what I thought. I wrote down that. Nothing will beat this match. And there was one point at the end, too, he, kind of fell over. Swerve Scott fell over, and he, I don't know if he grazed his head or he hit – it looked like he hit the post.
He hit his head into the corner, yeah.
It was kind of awesome because it looked like he really did it. And it looked like
he looked like he really hit his head hard.
He didn't, but it looked like he sold it like, I made a mistake. Then he took like a knee to the
cell drop
chest.
was fantastic, and then that's where we got him with the double underhook.
You're right.
Right into his knees.
So
that's where he got the victory.
It was kind of a weird ending. Like he was pulling on him, and then he falls, and then hits his head by accident, then gets back.
Yeah, and that's what costs him the match, and that little slip up, because he was, basically he just went ahead and blocked the suplex, and it was like, all right, let's get in here. I almost won with a 450, and then he knocks his lights out by falling backwards.
Yeah,
so.
it was kind of weird. Like he falls backwards, hits the post, gets dragged back in, double underhook. And by the way, I don't think the friggin' did the commentary. Let me hear the commentary real quick. Let me pull the audio real quick.
Yeah, while you're pulling that up, because
that exposed steel of the turnbuckle from early on in the matchup.
Yeah, I mean, so they planned that. Okay, so they planned to have him hit his head off of that.
Yeah, that was the planned finish. Surely, I always took that as that was intended.
But it was.
But they wanted to make it look accidental because the way that he shoves Scott right into him, that Escobar shoves him. It's just enough. We're like, all right, you could say that it was an accident, but you knew it was intentional, and this will be enough for them to have a continuation with this feud, which I'm fine with. Hey, you didn't beat me, I beat myself, or you had to cheat, you had to use, the unprotected steel.
What I don't understand is, the only thing I didn't get was, it's a little goofy. Like, you take the thing off, then you're on the outside, the guy then accidentally falls into it. You know what I mean?
Well, he was shoved, but he kind of like fell as well.
It didn't look right.
It's like, a little open-ended.
Why not have the heel, take you on the outside and throw you head first into it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess they were trying to say, like, this way that he didn't have to. He still cheated because he shoved him, but it was a little bit of dumb luck too.
Yeah, like it was dumb luck. That's why, like, well, what's the point then? Like, because really, he could have. He sort of. By the way, he missed it. I watched it. He missed it. He looked like he caught the post. So, like, I was like, okay, he didn't really look like he looks like he might have grazed or hit something, but he looked like he hit the post, not the exposed
it looked like more he went to the corner than he did the turnbuckle.
Oh, he kind of does look like he hit it now that I look at it. I watch it again. It does look like he kind of hit it.
He sells it fantastic, though. His eyes look like he's on another planet.
He sells this like when you hit your head by accident and you're really hurt and you're shocked because you're like, oh my God, like I just got fucked up. Like I just
he looks dazed and confused.
What a sell, man. He sold it like because when you accidentally hit your head slightly and you're in another world, like you can't believe, and you're out. He sold it like that. So great job by him. It just was a little goofy to me. That's all. But it is what it is. And overall, I thought this was the best match of the night to me. So whatever it worked. I mean, like it give them the credit, and it worked out for them. And we got bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I don't apologize for anything, and hey, look who it is. It's Jake DeMarco. Yes man, Joe Cronin. Fuck you for blocking me a second time on Twitter. Yes man, fat liar faggot. Don't ever mess with Bullfrog.
Oh man, wow. I can't take it.
Oh no,
all this bullying from Bullfrog, it's killing me.
Are you gonna be okay?
No.
I hope you don't do anything stupid, Jake.
It just makes me want to kill myself, Joe.
I'm gonna kill myself. All right, bro. All right. I'm sorry, dude. Hey, listen. It happens. It happens. Okay, Bulldog. So yeah, so the women are next, right? Or
now we got the women's match.
Yeah, and they did it, man.
Candice LaRae comes out first, and I again give respect to NXT for every title fight. They make it feel like a huge deal. The presentation, the lights come down, the mic lowers into the center of the ring. I like that old school feel. It's
how about that? How excited are you if you're the announcer and the goddamn mic comes down from the ceiling? That is just a dream. About to come down the aisle. Like, that is
classic.
Yo, they'd have to like zoom in on my upper chest, or if they had a shot of me, they'd see my giant erection in the ring if I was doing the announcing for that, because wow, I will tell you, man, hot. And the chick's not bad either.
Dream come true.
But yeah, great opening.
Yeah.
Candice LaRae looking like she getting a kick out of the mic being raised down there. She might have rubbed some stank on
She
it
had
earlier.
such incredible facial expressions too from her. She sold being a heel so good. I give her so much credit. I'm very, very selfishly disappointed she didn't win the match. Not enough to the point where it detracted from me enjoying it, but I really liked the idea that several people had set up. Spaz was one where if Candice wins, then Johnny kind of becomes the cuck role in the family, and that could have been interesting as well. With the other day when he won the match, Johnny immediately went to the ref for his hand to be raised before he even checked on his wife. So the relationship they have is very tumultuous, yet they're still working together. So it's interesting, the husband and wife combination. It's how Mike and Maria should have been.
Right, and they weren't allowed to be anything, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, Candice did great in this match. Io obviously is one of the best women competitors, not just in NXT, but in wrestling today. I really enjoyed this match as well. The women really, really did a great job, as I said before, with that anything you can do, I can do better. They kept trying to step it up, and any move that one attempt, the other one tried to hit something grander. I like the story that they told. I even didn't mind Johnny coming out and going ahead and putting on the referee shirt. He went for the quick count, and Io Shirai was able to go ahead and kick out. Then I was like, all right, perfect. That was good. Then they did this silly thing with hitting her in the face with the title belt while Johnny was arguing with the now conscious referee. And I thought that just took me out of the match entirely, unfortunately.
Yeah, it got a little ridiculous there. And again, kicking out of that, I mean, I don't understand. I don't quite understand that. It would have made sense if she hit her with the belt and the referee was still distracted for a little bit and then came in to count and then didn't get the pin because, they didn't get it done quick enough. But her just getting hit and then just kicking out almost right away was like, what?
Especially after just barely making it out of the previous counts. She was getting hit because the way they set it up, she gets the rope break, and then Candice LaRae wouldn't let go of the Gargano escape. So Io Shirai gets finally to the ropes to get safety, gets the rope break, and Candice accidentally hits the ref. And we're like, oh no. So, you could see where she didn't mean to, but now she's going to take advantage of it. So Io Shirai hits her with an air raid crash, and then Shirai misses the moonsaults and hits the referee. And now the ref that's getting back up is completely taken out. So the way they set this up, it was good. Candice, you think she's going to cheat, but she doesn't. She gets the wicked stepsister, lays out, Io. She goes for the 3 count. That's when Johnny jumps in. I loved it. It was so exciting. Just they're adding so much anticipation, and I thought the story they were telling was really, really good here. Finally her husband's coming to help, and then look at that, they did the thing with the title, and that took it down a few points, about a point for me after that. But
yeah,
still, even with all that, I gave the match 7.5. It was still really good. It just could have been better.
I was saying that I think this, to me, maybe I'm missing a match and I don't know, but to me, this was my second favorite women's match of the year, behind the Tegan Nox street fight match with Dakota Kai. Or maybe
that's number 1. But
I don't know if this really is number 2 or number 3 or 4, but it was the only thing I can think of that's better is that other match, is that Tegan Nox match.
Yeah, that one with Dakota Kai was so good. And I'm curious to see what happens, because now we have Dakota Kai coming up. She's going to get the shot. Now we have, obviously, Ember Moon is back. Toni Storm said she's coming. Rhea Ripley said that no matter who wins tonight, whether it's Candice or Io, she's going to face she's the next challenger. And so the women's division is stacked right now. It's absolutely stacked.
Yeah, they're killing it, man. The women are just like, right now it's a stacked division. Can they put on the best matches? I don't know. They have this year though. So the women in NXT, it's the best women's division that I'm watching. If there's another one out there that I'm not aware of, maybe New Japan or somebody else has something going on I don't know about right now because I'm not watching too much. But I mean, AEW and NXT, it's still no contest. NXT has the best women's division in all of wrestling to me. Unless, I mean, I'm missing something.
Yeah. And Kushida were they were good, but they didn't compare to this match.
Right. Yeah, this match was great. Thunder Rosa, yeah, she's great and all that stuff. But
she just hasn't had that match in AEW yet that's been to this level.
A lot of the women in NXT, like, wrestle like men a lot of times, or wrestle like wrestlers. For some reason, in a lot of other places, and even on the main roster of WWE, the women, like, wrestle with this, like, lightweightness or this fakery. They're very fake looking. The punches are awful. I mean, overall, everybody's punches are awful. Like, nobody can throw a damn punch anywhere, I feel like, almost. So punches suck, kicks suck a lot of times, but especially on the WWE main roster, and even in AEW, a lot of the AEW women, it's like this sort of like, I'm tired swing, like not really caring. Like, it's like, dude, if you're going to throw a punch, throw the punch. Make it look good. You can literally throw a crazy haymaker and not hit the person and make it look amazing, as opposed to these soft swinging real blows that they kind of hit each other with like real shots, but they don't jump, they don't stomp, they don't put a lot into their body. It's really bad. Like, we could break down right now, the last 10 years especially, just pathetic. Pathetic punches. Oh my God. But for some reason in NXT, the women do seem to wrestle more like they're actual wrestlers, where a lot of the main roster women have this lackadaisical, just, I don't know, man, like mail it in type of wrestling style, and even a little bit in AEW too. I don't know what the hell that is, but I've seen it, and even on the independents, I've seen some women with that sort of like, oh, here's these like chest chops where they like hit them with their inside wrist to their like strikes to the chest, and it just, what are you doing? You look dumb. Stop it. You look stupid.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't fit well in the women's matches.
Don't like it. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but women more than men, unfortunately for them, are so small and lightweight that they need to make it look even more like they're trying to hit harder for whatever reason that is. And the women have even brought that up before and said they know they have to do that, and yet I still see women like striking barely. And then when I see guys do it, I'm just like, Jesus. Like, what is going on here? Yo, Ruslan Kamenko, thanks for subbing to the channel, man. Hit that like button down below and stick the thumb up my ass. We're here, Jake DeMarco, Joe Cronin. This is the NXT review, and we're on the women's match. So yeah, man, I give this match, I'd probably say 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I had given it as well, 7.5.
8.5 for the previous one. So these are the top two matches of the night for me. The last one, and then this one. And this one might have benefited from the previous match, elevating the show, and then this one kind of not carrying it as in a sense that the women's match carried the show, but sort of like it was passed.
No,
like the torch was passed, and they continued
the third
running.
match on, yeah, you got into a roller coaster. You know, you got an amusement park ride. Once you got in the third match, it just continued. It was straight through entertainment.
Yeah, it's kind of like in a, what were they, those old races where they pass the baton to each other. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, the first couple matches, you know, they were kind of trying to get their stuff going, and by the cruiserweight match, they were cruising down, and then by the women's match, they passed the torch so good it keeps rolling. And what was after the women's? Is that the main event?
That's it. We went right to the main event.
Right to the
Fifth
main
match
event
of the night.
No
Bálor,
bad
Kyle
match.
O'Reilly,
Not a bad
next
match. Not a bad match tonight. Important to say that.
Yeah, no, not a bad match at all. Originally, what you had said was this probably being the best takeover of the pandemic, and because In Your House was okay, wasn't great, but it was okay, and I felt like Takeover 30 was again another one that could have been better, but it was marred by injury. Obviously, that was unfortunate, and so especially with Cross hurting his shoulder and. I like the main event, though, a lot. I'm always, obviously, a big proponent of Bálor's, and I can understand what you're saying when you say that he clearly gives more of a damn when he's working with certain people that he likes. It seems that way. That's kind of an evidently obvious.
I don't know what to say about him. It's like, I hate to say it because he's great. I love his entrance. I like him. You know, there's just sometimes, 8 out of 10 times, it's a generic match with Finn Bálor. I don't know why. He looks like he's putting effort into it, but it's not my thing. That's all. You know, I think Triple H had a little bit of that style back in the day where Triple H would kind of, go through different, like, sort of some of the same tones and stuff like that. But Triple H was more, I don't know, charismatic to me, like, or exciting to me. Bálor does that, and it looks more stiff, and I don't see it as well. It's just me, like, I don't know. But tonight, I thought it was great tonight. Good stuff with Kyle O'Reilly tonight.
Especially with this being a almost nearly 30-minute match, it did not feel like 30 minutes at all.
Yeah.
And that's one of the, obvious signs of a good match, when it doesn't feel like it drags on. Because we've had matches that have been 15 minutes that feel like a half an hour. And this half an hour felt like 15 minutes to me. So I was continually engaged. I assumed that Finn Bálor was going to retain. And I was correct in that guess. But even with that prediction, there was always a slight chance that, hey, they could put this on Kyle O'Reilly. I doubt it, but there was a few points in the match where I'm like, they might do it. They actually might go ahead and have him win here. It just, they sold it very well. So I give them tons of credit. And I like that they had a really good continuation afterwards, to be continued moment. That cliffhanger adds a good deal of the reason you'll want to tune in on Wednesday. So
right. And at some point, Triple H will be talking about TakeOver, I believe, too, right? Isn't that coming up? Or
yeah, you should be live shortly.
Yeah,
if not already.
I have not seen it yet, but I've been looking for it. So hopefully soon that will go down. We'll get a listen in on that to see what Triple H is saying about TakeOver. But I have not seen a link or a comments from them yet on Facebook. I've been looking for it. So
not yet. Yeah, after breaking down all the scores, it gets a 7.5 out of 10 for me for the night. So that seems fair.
Yeah, I thought it was a 7. Would you give it a 7.5? Because that's what I was going to give it. Yeah, 7.5 just because it was solid. It was a solid show. Probably the best pandemic show. What was the last one? A 7, and then the one before that was like it was ugly, right? We had TakeOver 30 during the pandemic. So
yeah, it was 30 in your house. I believe
In Your House was not good.
That's what I said before. In Your House was okay. It wasn't horrendous, but it just wasn't anything like we're used to. Right. And then 30 was marred with injury with the main event. That really took away from everything with Cross getting hurt. So
that's right. I was trying to remember what it was. It was all right.
So it wasn't a terrible show by any means, but it just wasn't to the quality and standard that they usually put forth.
Yeah, even so I would say that, this is probably this was good. This was pretty damn good for this was the best NXT has done this year since the pandemic, and it was nice. And I do like those little breakups of the Ember Moons and the other stuff. I wish there maybe even was one more segment, because I thought that was helping to break up so much wrestling. But they did get right to the point. Here's the matches. Let's go. Less is more every time. Every time you're like, one more match, or like there could have been more. It's over already. I do think there is a little bit of something where maybe 15 more minutes on this show would have been nice. I think that it's not just I want more. Oh, you left us hanging wanting more. But in the end, me being mad that there wasn't another 15 minutes is certainly better than me being like, Jesus, this another hour, wow, it was like 2 more matches would have been too much, especially with no crowd. That is 100% true. And
they did also have a moment in the back where Mackenzie Mitchell, after the women's match and the unveiling, they went ahead and they had her interview Shanti, the Adonis, backstage, and he was very hyper and talking about how the cruiserweights annoy him and all that stuff. Legado del Fantasma. So okay, I didn't care for him at all. I do appreciate the fact that they were going to have Rhea Ripley compete on the pre-show. I guess originally was said on Twitter that people were upset about that. Rightfully so, because she should be treated like a bigger deal. She was wrestling against Charlotte at WrestleMania as the NXT Women's Champion. But hey, Rhea Ripley was talking with Triple H, and she said that it doesn't matter who is going to walk away victorious tonight, whether it's Candice or Io, I'll be ready. And after tonight, he encouraged Ripley to go for the contendership. So that's cool. So I'm excited to see how stacked this women's division is and what happens going forward. Chat, let me know your ratings as well out of 10. I know a lot of people seem to be around the 7.5 area, so that seems good. At least we're all in the the kind of same thing. Adamant says Triple H is speaking now. Okay, so that's good. Halloween Havoc is a big announcement as well, hosted by Shotzi Blackheart. That's 8 p.m. 8 p.m. 7 Central, the 28th of October. No matches announced for that yet, but that's, hopefully going to be a big night. And WWE does make it clear, we see here, that NXT will not get any draft picks this year. So just Raw and SmackDown will be getting draft picks. So no one will be picked to go to NXT, which is unfortunate because I think that could have been interesting as well. But let's see, who gets called up this coming Friday on SmackDown. We got to go ahead and find out on the start of the draft who's getting called up and where they're going to. I'm very worried about NXT. Latoya gives it an 8.5. 64K Smith, 8 out of 10. Roberts, 7 out of 10. Brent is an 8 out of 10. Yeah, so, everybody goes ahead and seems to be in between that, 7 to 9 range, which seems really good. Williams, 7.5. And he's rating in chocolates. Can't beat that. And just like Eddie said before, where, Tessa was training with Sasha at one point, she was wrestling with a lot of people, in backstage. But about a week ago, she went ahead and she, released a bit of a statement to her fans on Instagram saying that I've been away for a while. The main reason for that is to focus on my wedding and honeymoon. The past few months, I've gotten back to the basics, been focusing on the relationships I have with family, friends, and myself. The point of this post is because I'm taking back the control of my narrative. So she goes on to really go ahead and talk about her story and, talk about some of the racist claims against her and kind of set the story straight. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, check out her Instagram. But it seems like she's definitely taking time off from wrestling at this point in time so she can go ahead and, kind of fix things in her life. WWE did reach out to her, at one point in time. That was, after her Impact Wrestling release, and they sent out feelers. So it's something that could happen, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah, are you talking about Tessa?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Triple H loves this. I think Triple H is like, I want her. Very
well could.
And then you got people in AEW want her. Even and we said, what was it? Black Swole or whatever. She was like
Big Swole. Yeah.
Big Swole. She's black. Black Swole. Big Swole, who's black, for the people that don't know who Big Swole is, she's black. And there was this racist claims and stuff. And so Big Swole got into it about Tessa being saying racist stuff. And so they got into this fight with Tessa Whitechard. And Tessa Whitechard and Big Swole got in a fight. I'm just kidding. And Big Swole got in a fight with each other, and they were like, all this blah, blah. But now that Tessa Blanchard is a free agent, Big Swole says she wants her in AEW. And then people were like, yeah, Big Swole, you were saying Tessa Blanchard, she's a racist and she sucks and all these other things. And she's like, yeah, but hopefully she'll learn, what she did was wrong. And we could obviously use her over here. And it was like, what? Wow. I
was surprised as well, but
I was
that's
shocked because,
big of her.
It is big of her, right? But it's also because usually when the SJWs get angry and they start saying this stuff, but to me it makes me think that it's even more BS that she's not a racist because these people called her a racist, and now they're like, hey, come to AEW. Oh, so either you believe this person was a racist and changed for some reason all of a sudden, now they can come to your company, or they never were a racist and you know that and you were just saying that.
Yeah, that seems to be
you were witch hunting and white knighting and flipping out about they're a racist, and this proves that you didn't even believe what you said. You just said it because it sounds good and you wanted Twitter clout. So to me, it sounds like Big Swole and all these people just wanted Twitter clout. I don't know. Why else would you be like, oh my God, racist? Oh my God, no, never mind. What? I don't understand that. So it's either one way or the other. yeah, you could say like, oh, you know, she said things in the locker room that are disparaging. She said things that are mean, disparaging. She's been racist. I don't think she is a racist necessarily, but she said things that are racist, like in private, weird stuff like that, not jokes. Then that's different. That's a different criticizing. That's a different critique is the
Criticism.
word. A different criticism than that. It's you know, to say like, hey, I think that privately, you know, you're a little too off-color racist or whatever, and you need to tone that down because I don't think you are a racist, but what you're saying is racist, and so it's bad. Don't do that. You know, that's different than saying they're a racist. This person is a racist, and we know it, and we attack them on Twitter, and now we say, oh, never mind, come to our company because they'll change. What? Other people,
Yeah.
And
If we bring them with us, we can fix you.
yeah, but
That's what it sounds like.
But everybody else is like, oh, they'll never change. They can never change. That, well, you know. So what? And by the way, I think people can change. So I don't think you should just bury someone forever. I think you should give people chances to, you know, be like, hey, listen, I was being an idiot, like an ignorant bigot. I don't even know why. I'm not. You know, that's different. We'll accept an apology, and you can change, and you can be better. That's cool. Although I hate that when people say that on Twitter. Be better. Be better. Be better. No, fuck yourself. I hate that on Twitter. Be better. You need, be better. Yeah. All right. You're on Twitter. I mean, kiss my ass. If you say be better to people, you need to be shot in the head. Okay. Be better. Let's.
Scott Armstrong is back. He said back in the saddle. Definitely happy to be part of the NXT family. So he's back in NXT after being furloughed many months ago with the coronavirus situation.
Who?
So at least he got his job back. Scott Armstrong.
Oh, good for the Road Dogg's brother. He's back. Okay.
Yeah, so that's good. And he's working with Road Dogg, obviously, in NXT. So
speaking of that, we are going to go to some comments. We got Triple H live post NXT call coming up. We got that hanging over our head, which is always good. I'll be reacting to that live with you guys in a minute.
Shit bum.
That'll be fun.
7.5 for me, and I think all the matches were good, but Swerve should have won and too many kickouts, but still good. Also Tony Nice Ass Storm is back. Tony and Shotzi need to make a porno already. Hashtag coming for that ass. Hashtag Dicky Solid.
BDW. Thank you for the $5, BDW, man. Much appreciated, dude. Tony and Shotzi need to make a promo already. Or a porno, I'm sorry. Yeah, BDW, I appreciate it. Yeah, that'd be nice, huh? Thanks for becoming a $5 shit bum, BDW.
What else we got?
no argument there.
Yeah.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Make one
That's
now.
it. Bubbly? Look at this stuff.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I give it a 7. I thought Cruiserweight match was best. I'm not biggest Bálor O'Reilly fan, so that was kinda blah to me. NXT women's division just keeps getting reloaded. I thought Candice could win cause she got the story with Tegan. Big Tegan
tore. Yeah, it sucks that she tore that. Rated R superstar. Yeah, I would really, if I was going to go back and watch this NXT TakeOver again, you know, I'd probably just watch the women's match and
Do
the
a little
cruiserweight
basketball
match.
dance off the concrete. I mean, I'm just so sick of you little meth head devil worshippers. I'll be honest, I'd like to take a big bite out of your face.
Sorry for blowing up your Twitter trying to get you in contact with Jericho to get you one hell of an interview. You've done a lot for me and other people. Time to pay it forward.
Oh, James Metzler, man, much appreciated, dude. Well, Jericho already said he loves us on his live stream a little while back. Remember that? It was nice. I love Jericho, man. That would be amazing to get him on here. You know, getting Cody was really cool. Having Cody on, having JR, Jim Ross coming on was great. A lot of guys were amazing to have on here. $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase,
DDP.
You know, DDP was cool, but I mean, $1 Million Man was a mark out for me because I've been watching him since I was fucking 5. So
Yeah, exactly.
but a lot of those guys. So yeah, that'd be great. James Mesner,
Yeah,
thank you so
Drew
much.
McIntyre was awesome. He
Yeah.
was so
Super chat.
awesome.
Super chat.
Thought that was Sasha Banks at commentary. WTF.
Yeah, I don't know what was Ulysses, the U Smith. Thanks for the $2, man. Yeah, it was really weird. It was strange, but you know, I don't know why people were freaking out about that. You know, I get it. The commentators aren't right there. I don't know what the reason was for the mock, or was it a different language, or who was sitting there? Angel Garcia, thank you so much for hitting that sub button, man. Pour him a beer. Somebody get him a cerveza. Right now, Soundwave, the top donator. Thank you, Soundwave. What's up, brother?
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Here comes Robbie Hyde.
Bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Out of all the shows, I think NXT desperately needs the fans back. The fans at the TakeOver shows is the lifeblood, in my opinion.
God damn, man. Robbie Hyde, thank you for the $3. Much appreciated.
Right. Seeing, you've been to TakeOvers live, so have I, and the crowd is next level. I mean, it's unbelievable the volume that they can produce. And I'll tell you what, you're not having that every time is certainly a huge, detractor from these pay-per-views.
It's so weird that it sucks that we didn't get NXT TakeOver in Boston and that SummerSlam in Boston was canceled. I think the NXT TakeOver in Boston, that would have been my first NXT TakeOver here. I've actually only seen one NXT TakeOver live, and it was in Orlando.
In Florida.
Yeah, for WrestleMania. And the funny thing about that TakeOver was that was the one where I got that major headache.
Yeah, you had to leave for the main event.
I missed, I had to watch Bobby Roode and Shinsuke in the car.
Nakamura, right?
Yeah, in the car. I was like, and I was waiting for JD, and I was in the car like doing this, watching it. I couldn't stay in the place anymore, and really what it was I didn't eat. Me and JD had been drinking like every day. Like my body just was like, nope. And it was just, I had good seats too. It really stunk that I missed the conclusion of that. But I remember being the most excited about Ty Dillinger that night. I don't know why, but him coming out with the 10 song and the music.
That was so hype, man. That was huge. So no doubt. That was so over.
That was fun, man. That was a real fun time even. And then, the headache cleared by the time I had to drive home, so.
It was fun when he came up to SmackDown, too, and he was originally, really over. Then they just forgot about him.
Yeah, he never hit the right way, and I think it's their fault. But
Super Chat.
Side note, Shotzi Blackheart is kinda hot emo.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the women.
You gotta be careful because Spaz Phoenix will hurt you. That's his girl.
He'll eat your arm.
He's obsessed with shots. Yeah, in one bite.
Ulysses, man, thank you so much,
What
brother.
else we got?
What's up?
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Oh great, one more overrated chocolate bitch taking up valuable oxygen on the show.
Oh, God.
Hey, Hunter.
That's
hey,
just
there
terrible.
we go.
That's a horrible, that is a horrible, now that's racist.
That's, Skip.
I hate your fucking guts. I'll kick your ass, motherfucker.
Oh, God, I can't even read that name. That is just terrifying.
Just change it. We edit as we need
You have
to.
to find his IP address and time up.
Super Chat Party.
Good Lord.
Hyped for Ember and Tony obviously gives me and Jake more to preview next time, lol.
Yeah.
Women's division just bigger and better.
Yeah. Hyped for Ember and Tony. I mean, I'm not hyped for anything really that much. I mean, I was just hyped to see that Ember's okay. Like, that's the only thing. Like, I was kind of let down by who it was. Yeah. Like, I was kind of like, oh, Ember's the person? Like, I thought it was going to be somebody else. But then at the same time, I was like, oh, this is great news. That means Ember is going to wrestle.
Yeah, she's okay. So I was happy with her, honestly, and I was also very relieved, as you were. And I like the fact that on Twitter, she went ahead and she kind of made a little poking jab at everybody thinking it was Bo Dallas. She says anything can happen if you believe.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
They got us, though. They got everybody saying that, a former champion's returning. We all thought it was a male champion. I don't even think anybody suggested female. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was male in the vignette. So they really got us.
Yeah, it was good stuff. I had no idea. First of all, I thought it was going to be a guy. That was number one. And maybe I missed the tip off. It's a female for sure.
No, it seemed that way because they had a gentleman in the vignette before. So.
And right when I'm like, okay, so first Tony Storm is like, yo, I'm coming for this shit, I'm back. And then now we see the figure driving to the arena, and I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be a female. I'm like, so here comes another person. Like, what the hell? Io Shirai is still in the ring. And then, when she took off the mask, I immediately went, whoa, I did not expect that, but whoa, okay, Ember Moon can wrestle again, and she's back in NXT. So it was like, yeah, so that was the good news, is Ember Moon is not retired. Yeah. Career-threatening injury is, apparently not off the table. But the thing that's weird, too, is that with an injury type of situation with Ember Moon, if there was a danger or she was, on the edge with an injury or close to being done if she gets injured again or whatever it is, you would think that you would stay on the main roster because the main roster style, is a little bit more. Yeah. It's more forgiving, but you wrestle less.
Maybe they feel the opposite. Yeah, maybe they feel like you can get away with doing less down NXT.
No, I don't think. I don't. No, I think it's like I think she has to work harder.
I think she might work less.
Yeah, she might have
not match quality, but
less matches, but the matches are more brutal. So
exactly.
Or was she never really was she just regular injured, and then like the whole thing about career threatening like is wrong, was just always a rumor that was wrong. I mean, but then she also kind of commented on it like my career could be over. Fuck. Didn't she say something like that or tweet it? And she was terribly sad. She like broke down, I thought, and cried about it. So what the hell changed? And these are the things that if they don't answer this, why not? Why isn't that a story about like what went wrong and what's okay now and why are you all right and what's the reason? I want to know. That's, to me, is an interesting story I want to hear about.
Speaking of interesting story, and just like Andre just said in the chat, I checked it. Triple H said during the post-takeover media call, Finn Bálor is on his way to receive x-rays of his jaw at a local medical center. Triple H didn't elaborate, but he noted that they needed the x-rays to see what's going on there. Bálor was selling an apparent jaw injury after the match and was bleeding from his mouth, as we made note of before.
Dude, Kyle O'Reilly was bleeding from his mouth, and then Bálor like one-upped him. Like, let me show you how to really bleed from your mouth.
Yeah. O'Reilly also bled, like you just mentioned, and Triple H noted that O'Reilly was being checked out by WWE medics. No word on yet the severity of the potential injuries.
Yeah, I don't know. Like bit lip, bit tongue. I don't know, man. That was a lot of blood coming from Bálor, though.
Yeah, Bálor was spitting up chunks of it at the end there. Like he was really, bringing up a good amount. So hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought O'Reilly was just like, okay, he bit his lip or whatever. But
yeah,
when I
went into his cheek something.
But it was the Bálor one that I went, Jesus, like that looks like it's blood that's coming up. Like I don't know shit about shit, but I'm just saying like it looked like
it was so bright.
Yeah, it was so thick and like it was running, like it looked like it was coming up from somewhere in his body. And I probably not because he would have, I don't know, but it just didn't look right to me, but obviously, but Kylo O'Reilly's didn't look as bad, but if he's the one now that's in more trouble, then that's surprising to me.
Yeah, so hopefully they're both okay.
Yeah, hopefully. It's weird. 2 people bleeding from the mouth in a match. Shocking.
I mean, they certainly did beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, I'll beat you.
Ooh, baby, don't tease me with a good time.
Well, but now we're going to be, ruined by Raw tomorrow night, probably.
Still with no retribution, they have to drag this on for what, 1 more week without them being there before they can continue this stupid storyline?
You're right. Yeah, they're going to have another week off. I mean, Patriots weren't playing today because of COVID on Cam Newton. Trump has COVID. I mean, everybody's got goddamn COVID, it feels like.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing we have to look forward to tomorrow, and I say this very, very lightly, is the Viper. Randy Orton is taking off his night vision welding goggles, and he's going to team up with Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode to take on the Street Profits and Drew McIntyre.
Right.
Why the Street Profits?
Why again? Yeah.
Because that's the only faces they have at this point. And then the thing about Robert Roode, I originally thought he was going to be the one to come back to NXT. I thought that was going to be the choice, not Bo Dallas, because we kept hearing, oh, Robert Roode is coming back anytime now. And then they had this, oh, a champion's coming back to NXT. I'm like, oh, this fits perfect. It has to be him. But I was way off base.
Right. Yeah, what a mess.
That's the only thing I see from WWE.com previewed for Raw tomorrow. So
I
guess they don't know what they're doing on Raw.
They probably don't, or they do, but they're not telling you because it's too boring to tell you.
Well, that's the thing, because usually they try and showcase, like, here's what's coming up, and this is what you have. The only thing I see is that 6-man tag.
Oh boy, like I'm worried, very worried about.
Oh, will that be enough to put down the championship trio, or will McIntyre and the Street Profits bring the smoke? Oh God.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. Out of nowhere later in the week, it's gonna be a fun one. I think this week's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be big because it's right before SmackDown this week, which is the start of the draft, and we're gonna have a lot to cover for that. NXT was removed from the draft in the sense of, as I said before when you were away, they're not getting draft picks, so no one's going to be coming to NXT. I thought that would have been a really interesting thing to have, to be able to have just a few superstars be drafted to NXT. That could have been huge.
No, keep them. Oh, to NXT.
Yeah, to NXT.
Oh, okay.
If they made NXT an equal brand in the draft.
Yeah, no, I definitely like that. I thought you were saying to the main roster, and I was like, nope, don't do that.
That's what they're doing. They're going to be, pulling people from NXT into the main roster this Friday. So far, we've heard some of the name of the women, but they just had Retribution come up, and that's 5 names. I know Dio Madden wasn't NXT, but Dijakovic and, Mia Yim, those were big people coming from NXT. So I wonder how many more they're going to rape and pillage.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, I just don't want anybody going to the main roster, please. Please, nobody go to the main roster. Stay down in NXT, or you're just going to go back. You're going to go back. I mean, it feels like that's what they're doing. They're bringing people back, and then they're going to move people up, like trying people almost, like Triple H, like Vince tries, or they're trying something, it didn't work. Okay, Triple H is like, give them back to me. I like them, and I'm in a fucking war with AEW. Or we got to be using them somehow. I don't know which one is it more that, hey, listen, this person's on the books. Make them do something. They got some kind of value somewhere. We're fighting with AEW. Or if it's more of Triple H being like, oh my God, yes, good. You don't like that person? Bring him back to me. Bring him back to me. Or that person going to Triple H and saying, yo, Vince is just screwing me up here. I want to die. Like, can you please bring me, like, can I come back? Is there anything I can do? And Triple H is like, Vince, come on, man. Just, send her back down here. She can do so much more. Nothing's going on up there. I wonder how those conversations play out and work. I really do. It's probably a little bit of everything, but it's clearly that because NXT is on TV.
Yeah.
You have this ability to go back, and it's valuable because you're competing in the ratings. You're getting beat. AEW is winning, 80% of the time or something like that?
Yeah, if not more.
Yeah.
I think it's 4 out of every 5 times, something like that, and ends up being AEW wins.
Yeah. In fact, they've won some surprising nights. There's been some of the nights they won, it was like, what? Yeah. Like some of the better AEW shows, you're like, oh, this AEW killed them. And then NXT won, you go, what? And then AEW wins like 6 weeks in a row on like just some average shows, and it's like, what?
Give it a hell yeah!
What's going on?
I feel like they are trying to teach Velveteen a lesson these last few weeks. You are a little hard on SmackDown saying it bad. Since SummerSlam it been really good. Roman heel. Sami Zayn is excellent.
I did not say that.
Alexa Fiend's story keeps me invested.
I did not say SmackDown was bad. I don't know where you heard that. Raw is bad. And the main roster is pretty bad, but Roman's been killing it. Roman and Uso, dude, Jey Uso is awesome right now. He's like, we always liked him. We always liked the Usos, like 7 out of 10 team, loved them. But Uso right now, dude, Jey Uso and Roman is good.
That
dude.
Promo that Roman caught on Friday night was, damn, that was good.
That's his best one ever.
Like he said, I love you. I'm all about, I just wanted to elevate you. I wanted to bring you to the main roster, get you that payday. It was so good. Oh, good everything God. About it was so good. The IC title match at the end of the night was really good on SmackDown. And the Kevin Owens show was really good with Alexa Bliss. And then The Fiend attacked him. People think that Kevin Owens is going to turn heel now because of his interaction with The Fiend. But we'll see what happens because Bray Wyatt is going to join him on Raw tomorrow night. That's another thing that's happening. Wow. So they set that up. Kevin Owens is going to have the Kevin Owens show with Bray Wyatt tomorrow night. So that's interesting at least. That's one thing that could be good. Should be.
Yeah, hopefully that is good. But yeah, SmackDown's been better, man. I mean, I would give you over the last 5 weeks or 3 weeks or something, I don't know, I would say SmackDown has been a 5 or 6 out of 10, and Raw has been a 3 or 2 or 1. Like, it's been... So I don't think SmackDown's been horrible. It hasn't been the best to me, but there's... The Roman stuff has been super good, which is figures, that they focus so much on it. Sami Zayn's all right. But yeah, SmackDown has been at least... SmackDown, to me, is competing more with AEW than NXT. Like, I feel like the NXT Wednesday night show is blah, and I feel like Raw is just horrifyingly bad. But I feel like SmackDown is competing a little bit with AEW. And so, if you were to say, like, what are the 2 shows that are fighting for first place, those are the 2 shows. You know what I mean? Which is weird. I would think it would be NXT and AEW, but it's really been SmackDown and AEW creatively, because even though I like NXT a lot, it's just NXT's been a little bit too, roll out matches, okay, have the matches, whatever, and then it really isn't exciting until a takeover. And same thing with the main roster of WWE Raw. It's like Raw sucks. Okay, we've got matches at a pay-per-view. Let's see what happens. But NXT certainly has been better than the WWE pay-per-views, in my opinion. We are going to go to the Triple H comments press conference in just a second. Let's drop a dono.
Super Chat Party.
What's good, fellas?
What's up?
Check out some highlights from tonight now. Only at Botch Club Foot YouTube Zone Joe Cronin.
Yeah, baby. Botch Club always has videos of me up there and funny stuff. And of course, tonight they're going to have a lot of their videos from what happened. After every pay-per-view, after everything that happens in wrestling, Botch Club always has new botches or memes and videos up on Botch Club. Go give them a follow on Instagram. They're super supportive of me and us. Thank you guys for the donations, man. Without you guys, I couldn't do this stuff, so it is really, really appreciated that you guys drop in and donate. And certainly Soundwave, man, he's keeping the ship afloat on some of these streams, man. He's one of the largest donations of the night tonight, and one of the only ones way up there. And thank God we had that little jolt of 25.
Hell yeah!
Boom.
I'm glad the mystery person wasn't Bo Dallas like everyone saying. Would anyone would have cared? 7.5 for me tonight.
Easy E86, thanks for the 316. I'm going 7.5, so isn't Jake. And I think Bo Dallas's ship has sailed.
I think that would have been more underwhelming. Like, it would have been in the moment if it was a surprise. You'd be like, oh, that's cool. And then you let it sit in. You're like, no, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, he was like, what was he? He was the first NXT champion, right? Bo
I
Dallas?
believe he was the first.
I'm from sexy transvestite from sexual.
What was it, Seth? I forget. Might have been him and I don't remember.
I know it was Bo.
I'm from sexy transvestite from sexual Transylvania. Sexy transvestite from sexual Transylvania.
I would fuck Shotzi to comes out of her eyeballs.
Send my greasy ass into outer space.
Thank you, Tommy. Always with the sickest comments ever, man, with those donations.
July 26, 2012. Seth Rollins, you were right. First one, then Biggie, then Bo. Bo was the third.
Seth Rollins, Biggie, Bo Dallas. That's
Don't
right.
tell you.
What else we got?
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
All right.
That's what sucks about this draft. SmackDown is gonna lose everyone who've been killing it to Vince and Raw.
That's a great point, man. They always...
Every time SmackDown does really well.
Yeah, every time SmackDown is doing good and we're like, SmackDown's pretty good, they always do this and blow it up, and then SmackDown sucks again and we're like, okay, they both suck.
Every 2 years it happens, because what happens
God.
is 2016 they did it, and we had a really good SmackDown then. And remember, that's when they finally went back to going live. We were really enjoying it in the beginning. The first few months were damn good. And then they had the draft. They lost a lot of people, and SmackDown became boring for a year. We got the draft again. It got better. And then every 2 years, it's like, oh, then we get a new show. So this is what's going to happen. They're going to take a lot of the people. Again, it happened 2016, 2018, now 2020. It's going to happen again. They're going to take people from SmackDown that have the best stories and things that are going well, and they're going to move them over to Raw, and then it's going to suck on Raw.
That is a
Raw
great
needs
point.
to go back to to 2 hours. First off, that can't happen soon enough. They need to do that. They've proven time and time again they can't write for 3 hours. They just can't. Because why is SmackDown so much better than Raw? It's not the talent. It's not the talent because the talent is good. For the most part, you've got a really good roster.
Yeah, it's the writing and the.
I posted Sasha Banks on WWE Battlegrounds. Look.
I'll go take a look at it, man. Botch Club, thank you, Botch Club. Yeah, I think that it's the structure of SmackDown has been better, the timing has been better, the pacing is better, and the writing is a little better. And obviously, I mean,
characters, matches.
If you take Roman and Uso away, it's pretty lackluster. But at least it feels like
Otis and the Miz isn't bad. Otis's original story was good for months on end with him and Mandy, and then it got a little convoluted and silly with Braun, but I didn't mind, before and after. The stuff they're telling with Big E is good. The whole IC title scene has been very competent and enjoyable. I think really the main problem is a little bit of the women's, but mostly is the tag division on SmackDown. And Cesaro and Nakamura are trying, but they don't have anyone really to face.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest problem with those two. They don't have anybody to go against for teams.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, there's not a lot of people to go against. What do they do? I wonder what they'll do. I mean, I think SmackDown needs a few more people on it. I don't think they need to lose anybody. They need to gain people.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad if you're planning on moving anybody from NXT, then I'd see it that way. But it's okay if they shift things up. Like I could see Seth going to SmackDown, AJ going to Raw. Like that's a good trade-off, especially because AJ wanted to get away from Paul Heyman anyways, supposedly. Get away from Roman on SmackDown because Roman's still the Universal Champion. So I think he'll stay put unless they switch the titles.
Right. Well,
I don't think they'll switch him and Drew because Fox is the show that they're more like. Raw is still their flagship, but they care more about the Fox ratings at this point, it seems.
Yeah, they care more. And they got what did they get the other night? Like 2.0, like just over 2 million.
It was a
2.1,
I believe. Let me double check.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just over 2 million. I think it was just like 2039. So like 2,300,000 people or 2,039,000 people, something like that. It was like just over 2 million barely. I think is what I saw, but
yep, 2.043. Week before was 2.11.
Okay. They went down a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff with Roman and the
5 in the 18 to 49, so that's really good because NXT was doing like a 0.18 and AEW was doing like a 0.3 something. So
yeah,
doing better than both of those shows.
Yeah, the Chief stuff with Roman's great. But yeah, man, I'm sure you want to roll out. I suppose we'll wrap that. I'm gonna play. We're gonna listen to Triple H. If you want to call, anybody wants to get a call in real quick, 339-226-6610. Give us a call. I got the phone number down below here, so bring that on if you guys want to call in, say anything about NXT tonight or anything else or whatever. Otherwise, we're going to listen to Triple H and see what some of his comments are. Anything else you want to say, Jake?
No, tomorrow night we will be live after Raw. Good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. We'll be there to keep you guys entertained and sane. So make sure you tune in and join us live. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Check out Joe's Patreon. He's got so much extra content up there. It's insane.
Whoa! I had the Skype turned way up too high. My bad. Let me fix that. Hang on a minute, caller. Yeah, tomorrow night, man, after Raw. If I got to be there, I hope you're there, because I'm going to have to be there. God damn, that Skype scared the hell out of me. All right, Jake, man. I'll talk to you later, brother. Thank you, Jake. Yo, caller, what's up?
Hey, yo, Joe Carter, how you doing, my brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
Do you think this is the last time Candice LaRae is going to compete for gold, and she's just going to just be a put-over talent?
Yeah, I think she's going to be, but for a little while. But I wouldn't be surprised if at some point she does have the title. You know, if Io ever got the call or somebody else gets the call, I think at some point. But it might be more likely that Candice LaRae gets the call up before ever winning the belt. So I'm okay with that. If she got the call up before winning the belt, that's okay. Or if she just stays in NXT and helps enhance everybody, that's fine with me too. But if that's the case, I think at some point she will. If she's in NXT for the next 2 years, I think at some point she'll have that belt. But if she gets the call up in the next anytime in the next 6 months, maybe she won't. I don't know though. That's a question that could go either way. So I don't think she has to win any belts, but I think she'd be really good if she had the title as a heel and she was putting on matches with people. That could be really good. But I don't mind the decision of what happened tonight. Good match. So she has good matches usually.
It just seems like she's allergic to gold. That's just what it seems like.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I feel like I don't know, like they don't think she needs it, and she's just good at putting other people over, and they have these bigger plans. They see other people as bigger, but she is definitely one of the top workhorses on NXT, but she certainly could be the champion, so there's no reason why she can't be. But I think she's in sort of that, mid-card heel role, upper mid-card heel role right now, which is fine, so I don't know. I don't think it matters as long as because she's so good in what she does, I think. So it doesn't matter to me if she does or not. What matters to me is, Io Shirai feels like a champion and she has the belt and she feels like a champion, and Candice LaRae helped that happen. So to me, Candice gets such a thumbs up. So that's all that matters to me right now.
All right, Joe Cronin. See you later. Have a good night.
All right, man. Thank you. Good call. Good call. Appreciate that. Let's listen to a little bit of what Triple H is saying here.
Separated, being tested, wearing masks, just everything that could be done. Obviously, doing the best that we can at all times to keep not only our performers and staff safe, but fans as well. But having them here makes all the difference in the world. It truly is the passion. Their passion is the lifeblood of what we do, and having them here for us, especially for the talent, is just you can't state enough how big that is. So I thought that aspect of it was spectacular. The Capitol Wrestling Center looked incredible. The energy tonight was off the charts, and then talent, across the board delivered. From and I think it speaks to the depth and the talent of what NXT brings to the table. There's just something different, different stylistically to a lot of our performers, different stylistically to the matches that they can put out. That main event was a war between Finn and Kyle, Io and Candice, just, unbelievable. So, everybody bringing something different to the table. I thought we saw a lot of breakout performances tonight from people like Kushida and Swerve and even Santos and Kyle, just bringing it to another level and really breaking out and becoming bigger stars. So I'm going to open up to all of you, but one thing I also did want to mention is the return. Very excited about it, of Halloween Havoc on October 28th, which will be a lot of fun, and looking forward to that. So with that, I will open it up to questions. I will also mention before we get there, and I'm sure somebody will ask about it, is, from an injury standpoint, Kyle being evaluated as we speak, and Finn Bálor on his way to have his jaw x-rayed to see what's going on there. So,
well, there you go. So, I said that I thought Finn Bálor was the worse for wear. Kyle O'Reilly was bleeding, but it looked like he maybe just bit his lip or stitched something in there, ripped open, and he got a busted lip or face. But Finn Bálor looked like he had some kind of internal injury because he was gushing blood. So now with Triple H saying he's going to get his jaw evaluated, that tells me that there's a lot of blood and there's something going on up in the face or in the head, or I don't know. So that's, wow, there you go. He's going to get a jaw x-ray. So that was something that we were worried about, and there it is, man. I mean, can we have an NXT takeover where the champion doesn't get injured at the end? You know what I mean? I don't know if part of this is the guys working a little harder too with nobody there. Or no, not nobody there. They had the biggest crowd they've had yet tonight, but with less people there, it's obviously a little more awkward and weird. But I really did, again, love what NXT did with the TVs coming down almost on top of the ring and the loudness in the crowd. A little, bangy sounds, a little too much of that maybe in your head. But, it felt actually more like a Raw Underground than Raw Underground feels. But it was nice, man. It was, it wasn't. Why am I hearing that? Why is this? Oh, is it because it's touching this? Wow, the whole night that's been touching that, rattling. Listen. That's way better. Wow, that noise was annoying. Let's listen to more.
Hopefully, we're in good shape. Other than that, everybody is good. So I will open up to you. And again, thanks for waiting, and thanks for tonight.
All right, everybody, we'll keep it to one question per outlet tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If you'd like to ask a question on today's call, that is *1 on your telephone keypad. Once again, that's *1. Go ahead and take our first question from Jim Barceloni with Miami Herald. Please go ahead.
Hey, thank you much, guys. Really good show again tonight.
Miami Herald.
I'm curious because you did mention Halloween Havoc, and we also saw Ember Moon. And is that just a coincidence? Good timing? What is going on there? And if you can expand a little bit on the Halloween Havoc and having Ember back, and even Toni Storm appearing, which is really cool at the end of that women's match.
Yeah, just when you think that the women's division in NXT can't get any stronger, and but the depth of it is just incredible. Out comes Toni Storm back in NXT. Out comes Ember Moon returning from what could have been a career or was a career-threatening injury, but is back and ready to go and back here in NXT. And I can tell you that from talking to tonight, it was hard for her not to be smiling. She's so excited to be here, so excited to be back, getting ready to do what she loves to do. And I asked her who she was looking forward to working with, and then she gave me about a 12-person list. It just speaks to the division and how strong it is, and everybody wanting to be here and be a part of it because the competition is the best, and it makes everybody rise to a higher occasion. As far as the timing of her return, the timing of her return was based around when she was available to return. We've been talking about her coming back here for a while, probably since she was injured, and maybe even before that. And the timing was just here. She just got cleared. She's healthy. She's chomping at the bit to return, and so the door was open. As far as Halloween Havoc, it's just an exciting event. It's a way to have a little bit of fun and to entertain, and something that I used to look forward to. So here we are, and I think these kind of throwbacks and opening stuff up to things like this that people remember fondly is a great way to do it. So I'm excited for it. Excited to get rolling, and who better to host than Shotzi Blackheart? I mean, even I just think when you saw the promo spot for it, Shotzi fits right in there in the old Halloween Havoc world. So it's going to be a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
And we'll go ahead and take our next question from Alex McCarthy with Talk Sport. Please go ahead.
Hey, Alex.
Hi, Paul. Great show tonight.
Thank you so much.
I just wanted to ask some questions basically on some of the stuff we saw tonight, like Velveteen Dream obviously took a bit of a beat down, and the Gargano way didn't have a great night either. There's been kind of conflicting messages from WWE on social media. Are we expecting to see NXT in the draft this coming week and the next? And do you think some talents like this, who I just mentioned, who have spent a lot of time in the brand, is it kind of ripe time for them to move on? Because as we've seen with Ember Moon, there's always a way to come back, but perhaps this is the time that NXT actually are in the draft?
Yeah, I think, I'll be honest with you, this was asked the other day. I would, if I knew if we were in the draft, I would tell you. But I don't. It's, they're working through that. It's going to be kind of a wait and see thing even for us. And I think the good thing that, as you said, there's the great thing to me about WWE, no matter how you look at it, there's opportunities everywhere, whether it's UK, whether it's here, whether it's Raw, whether it's SmackDown, and there'll be even more of that in the near future. So the opportunity to not, if it's the right timing, to not stay in a place, to have a fresh start, any of those things are always there, and that's exciting. I don't know. I don't resign myself or see it as, well, somebody was in a place and they've been there for a little while, they should go someplace else. Like, to me, that is the art of storytelling, you know, and I go back years to people staying in territories or, you know, on certain brands and certain things for years. When they finally do move, it's meaningful. And, you know, and having those big moments, it's funny that the impatience of people in my mind today of, they just want it all now, and they can't wait to see the big match. They can't wait to see, oh, this person go over there, they face that person, that would be so great. If you can wait on it and you can let it build, you make it even bigger. You have to have patience with it, and really it becomes imperative on us to, you know, if somebody's been there for it's easy to be exciting when it's brand new. It's when that brand new wears off and you have to get into actual storytelling and real stuff that you can have the opportunity to build on it. So to me, I'm not saying that about anybody in particular or that anybody should or shouldn't move. It's just my observation. I just believe that people want things to happen super fast, and the second the shiny penny thing is off of it, they want it to go someplace else and have the shiny penny on it again. And it's really, that's when you dig into the storytelling. The characters that last can morph and shift. The performers that can last can transform themselves into something different, and it doesn't have to happen immediately in that moment. It has to play out, you know. And when you look at things like Johnny and Candice tonight, like, yeah, they're just that Gargano way. They're just getting rolling. There's a lot.
Well, you know, I want to comment on the shiny penny thing you just said, because it does, like, that does happen. But I think one of the problems is that, you know, you see it happen, but a lot of the reasons why it wears off is because sometimes when people don't do enough, like there's not a good enough story or not enough is done with certain people. And then you're like, oh, wow, it was so super exciting when they came up, but now I'm bored of it. You know, I'm almost never really bored of anybody in NXT. You know, it's normally that I'm bored with people that go to the main roster because they come up and, oh, Bobby Roode's here, and then they do nothing with them, and then it does wear off. You know, they always wear off on the main roster because they don't do anything good enough with them that the new fans go, oh, this guy's cool. The new fans go, I don't get it. Who is this guy? You know, and then, or the main roster only fans that don't watch NXT go, I don't get it. Who is this guy? And then the NXT fans all cheer and scream, but then after a few weeks, nothing is done, and then everybody just goes, oh, and it wears off. I think that happens less in NXT, but definitely way more on the main roster when, like, an NXT person gets the call up, or whatever you want to call it. It definitely never feels like a call up anymore. Shout out to Soundwave92, $25.25. That's the largest donation of the night. Yeah, Mexican pissed head. Tegan Knox is out for a year, or for a while, man. Yeah, probably 8 months to a year at the bad ACL tear. You know, I don't know.
A lot more to this than what you've seen so far, and that will play out, and I think people will be excited for that. But you have to have patience to do it.
Awesome, I understand. Thank you, Paul, and once again, great show.
Thank you, Alex.
Go ahead and take our next question from Mike Johnson with PW Insider. Please go ahead.
Hey, Mike.
Paul, how are you?
I'm good.
Yes.
Let me switch for a second and ask you a question. What do you think of the Capitol Center?
Oh, well, actually, it's going to be my question. I love the building. I love the look of it. So, obviously, you guys unrolled this building today. You had the interview with Justin Barrasso earlier today. But my question is more about the logistics here. Is that a permanent setup for what used to be known as the Performance Center? And if so, how does this change the training regimen and curriculum? And how does, what's with the new identity and the new purpose for this building every week, how does this change everything that previously existed and took place in that building?
Yeah, so that's a really great question, and something that we're working through as we speak. Yes, it changes the dynamic of what this main room of the Performance Center was, and now it's a show place, as it has been sort of since the beginning of COVID. It's just a funny thing because people talk about us getting back to training again, but it hasn't been here, and it hasn't been. When I say here, I mean I'm in the Performance Center, so it hasn't been in this building, and it hasn't been in what everybody had visited, and all the rings sat in as the Performance Center is in another smaller location where we've put less rings, but used it to socially distance and created the space that we needed to create the open environment that is needed in today's moment in time. But we will amplify that now. So while this becomes the shooting location, there are certain aspects of it that will remain here at the Performance Center, rehab facility, medical facility, the strength and conditioning facility. We have another space that we're doing in-ring training from. So it really shifts to different locations, and us being a bit more nimble, and talent just not showing up and being in one place for all the stuff they're going to do on a day-to-day basis, having to shift around a little bit more. But in this given time where we are, when talent come in to train, even in ring, they're doing it in small batches. Those small batches train together on the regular with their coaches, and that's kind of like their little bubble group. And then once they're done and they leave, and then everything is cleaned and sanitized, new group comes in, goes through the protocols, and then they train. So there's a lot of a different manner of how we were doing things, even in recent time when we got back to training. It all had to be shifted anyways. And the Performance Center, itself, the main room where the rings were, had to get cleared out of all the equipment that was in here. The Thunderdome was built. Then it was fixing everything that was here. Then when we decided to move in a different direction, it was sort of gutting that and starting over with the process of what the building was. So a lot of work has been done here, but we're shifting to other locations and making it all work.
All right. Thank you for the time. And good job tonight. The crew did tremendous.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll go ahead and take our next question from Sean Ross Sapp with Fightful. Please go ahead.
They interesting questions regarding the arena, right? Like it was kind of cool.
What else we got?
But it's really
a
the
little
same
bit of the
place.
bubbly.
It's the same thing.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I think Candice will win title. She had a good little story with Tegan going. Then Tegan got hurt. The storyline is Candice injured her. So Tegan would take title from Candice.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a great point, Alexis Sweetass. I mean, that's a storyline that, that may never happen because of how long away we are from that. But you're right. Clearly that was quite a bit set up. Alexis Sweetass. So that's a great point, yeah. Probably at some point she wins the belt. Tegan Nox returns to get revenge. And then Tegan Nox will win the NXT Championship in a comeback. Unbelievable. And they'll give Tegan Nox the belt for all her hard work. I think they want to give her something because she's been one of the best women wrestlers this whole year, and she's battled back like year after year to get back from ACL injuries and things like that. So yeah, probably she's going to get that. So she'll win the title that night on her first match back, return from the big injury in about 9 months from now, and then she'll tear her ACL in that match as she wins the belt. No, that is horrible. I hope that does never. This poor girl, man, just it hurts my soul to think about Tegan Nox being injured again. Like, I was worried about it, and then right as I let my guard down, and was like, she's on fire, man. She's been wrestling since December or whatever it was. She's on a roll. Her body's holding up. I thought maybe there was a problem with her ACL and her legs and she wasn't strong enough, or something about her body makeup didn't like this stuff and it was ripping and breaking on her. And I was wrong, man. She's wrestled now almost a whole 7 months. So we're good to go, it looks like. And then injured again. 3 ACL injuries in her 20s, Marvelous says. I mean, dude, that is just some terrible luck,
Perspective, or how it can benefit NXT, and how do you weigh sort of managing and booking talent to appear on your show when you know that some of them are going to be going elsewhere? Like, how do you weigh how they appear on your show versus protecting them for when they appear on Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah, no, that's a fine line. Look, when I say not knowing what is happening in the draft right now, my not knowing probably means more than likely, I would imagine, and just going off of what we've seen with commercials and everything, that we won't be. Now, that can always change and tweak, but a lot of talent have come up from the Performance Center, from this, or gone from NXT to Raw to SmackDown over the last, over the last 12 months. I want to say the numbers, or it's in the high teens, over the last 12 months. So there's been a lot of movement and a lot of activity. I'm always for what is best for talent. So, when the conversations are had, we try to have as much advance notice whether talent are coming in or going out, that we can plan for it appropriately, both on the exit and the entrance, for all sides. But sometimes that can't happen, and sometimes it's short notice. For the most part, though, we have a fair amount of advance notice, and we have time to be able to move on stuff. But there are some talents still that are a part of those rosters that are still waiting to debut. So there's a lot of opportunity there, but it goes across all 3 brands, and no matter how it goes, we'll be ready to make it work.
Thank you, Paul. Good show tonight.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it.
Go ahead and take our next question from Jason Powell with ProWrestling.net. Please go ahead.
Hey, Paul. Good show tonight.
Hey, Jason.
Hey.
So Ridge Holland played a big part in the post-match angle, and I think the most memorable moment that he had prior to tonight was that near-miss spot with Johnny Gargano on NXT TV. And it doesn't seem like it made you south.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we're getting close to goal. We're getting close to the goal, everybody. Well, no, we're not, but whatever.
WWE is basically in the shitter these days, but what rosters moves would you make for the upcoming draft? Who should go to Raw? Who should go to SmackDown?
I would move tag team wrestling to SmackDown fully. I would move the men's tag teams all from Raw and SmackDown. Maybe to Raw. I'd move all the tag teams to Raw, all the women's tag team to SmackDown. I'd put a couple more people on SmackDown.
Do a little basketball dance off the concrete. I mean, I'm just so sick of you little meth head devil worshippers. I'll be honest, I'd like to take a big bite out of your face.
Man Wyndham Rotunda, the man behind, is starting to show a little fatigue by keep battling Vince to make sure Bray Wyatt / Fiend remain heel. We all know Vince wants Fiend babyface.
We all know that Vince wants the Fiend babyface. Yeah, that's what it seems like, Mosh Master D. Rotunda, the man behind, is starting to show a little fatigue. Really? I mean, he's a big guy. He's having babies with different women. He's competing in this mask and all this stuff, and during COVID. I'm sure there's something, that he's got a little bit of battle going on, Mosh Master D. So, I think so a little bit. But, man, I appreciate the $10 Mosh Master D. We got Halloween Havoc coming soon. But yeah, I don't know about who else I would really switch. I think SmackDown needs a couple new people. And I think that, Raw, I feel like they got to start having more different people on both shows. I don't think necessarily that people need to go from Raw to SmackDown right now. But I think that there's plenty of other people that are on Raw that are never on Raw. And then there's a whole bunch of people that are just never on Raw. Instead, they wheel out the same people every week. So right now, I don't think that there needs to be some kind of mix-up between the brands. But what I think is there needs to be one or two more people on SmackDown. And Raw needs to start, rotating a few other people in and out every week instead of the same people every week. I mean, it feels like there's only like 25 people in the company on Raw. And it's like, well, what's the point in belts and stuff like that? It feels like everybody's got a belt and there's really not a lot of people. So, like, who are you competing with right now? It's just, I don't know, man. And it's the same storylines that progress barely every week, or they're repeated over and over, or the matches are repeated over and over. So to me, the draft doesn't mean dick. All that matters is that there's too much repetition on Raw by far. SmackDown, yeah, a little bit. Raw is out of control with repetition and boring. Monday Night Raw is the worst, right now, is the worst wrestling show I've ever seen in my life. And I saw WCW in 2000, okay? Monday Night Raw right now is the worst Monday Night Raw has ever been in the history of WWE. I would blow you. I would blow you to watch IRS versus Undertaker and the 1-2-3 Kid versus Double J and the Roadie take on Razor Ramon in a parking lot brawl, like whatever. The bottom line is that used to be the worst Raw was. That was when we said, man, that Raw was kind of whacked out then, huh? That wasn't very good. Yeah, well, you didn't see this shit. And WCW in 2000 was such a dumpster fire that it was at least exciting to kind of like see it. This is torture. This is Novocaine taken rectally. Like, really bad.
Do a little basketball dance off the concrete. I mean, I'm just so sick of you little meth head devil worshippers.
Alrighty.
I'll be honest, I'd like to take a big bite out of your face.
Go ahead, take a damn bite.
All NXT members should all go to SmackDown, then boring 3-hour sleep Raw.
All NXT members should all go to SmackDown and then boring Raw. Yeah, I mean, E-Murda. What up, E-Murda? How you doing, man?
E-Murda, what up, baby? Now I'm going to turn into the devil.
E-Murda.
Yeah, it's basically, you know what, though? I don't want anybody going to the main roster. It's a demotion to me at this point. It's usually a waste of talent. There seems like there's only a 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10 chance that if you come from NXT that you're going to hit as anything on the main roster. And you certainly won't be what you were in NXT, even if it's good, even if you're like Nikki Cross, even if you're Nikki Cross or Alexa Bliss. Well, Alexa Bliss is different. I think she's perfect. She's one of those hit the jackpots, right? Like she worked in NXT. She really works on the main roster, but Nikki Cross is somebody who, she's sort of works, but not the way she ever did. Not the way you thought. Nikki Cross is not the person you thought she was going to be. You thought you were going to be Nikki, it was going to be the crazy Nikki Cross, but you don't get that. So, but instead you get somebody else who's able to adjust to the system and be a main roster female wrestler, but slightly underwhelming of what she was in NXT, but yet a thumbs up compared to people like Bobby Roode.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
I wish WWE Network did another Breaking Ground with these NXT talents.
Yeah.
That show was awesome. Plus it would get you more invested in them. Imagine Tegan being on there now and then when she comes back.
Yeah, I gotta say, Eazy-E, I right now, WWE Proving Ground, or Breaking Ground rather, WWE Breaking Ground, like you said, Easy. It's easy that was the best, one of the best shows ever produced by NXT or WWE on the network. It's simply like the best thing. In fact, that is a show that if you told me that they were doing a second season of that, but it was only available for an extra $5 a month, I might pay for that. Like there's been so much horrible garbage on the network, like Ride Along and Sing Along and like WWE Prank or whatever it was, whatever they called that the wrestlers hated or whatever. And what's stupid is WWE Breaking Ground with the NXT wrestlers. That was some of the most like real life, real stories, behind the scenes, kind of almost exposition on the wrestlers you could ever get. I might even go back and watch that because I haven't watched it in a while. It's kind of on par with me as to like not quite as good, but remember like Beyond the Mat, the documentary back in 1999 or whatever year that Beyond the Mat came out, 98, 99. Wrestling with Shadows, Bret the Hitman Hart. You know, Breaking Ground is that type of thing where like I would buy that on Blu-ray. If you told me the whole season of Breaking Ground was on Blu-ray, I'd buy it. And I'd put it right next to Beyond the Mat and right next to Wrestling with Shadows. And how in the world did they not do another one of those? Why didn't they do that? You know, I don't understand why they did one season of it. I mean, maybe because it kind of ruins stuff because it's, you know, a lot of behind the scenes. So maybe they said, listen, we got a hit, but, you know, we got to stop pulling the curtain back to get this thing over the right way. That's the only reason I can think that they did it. Or nobody knew about it, so they got bad ratings maybe, and they thought it wasn't good. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that Breaking Ground would have been like one of their top-rated shows because it was so good. It's one of the best things they produced. You know, so I really don't understand that. Yo, shout out to JJ100, who became a $25 producer a little while ago on my Patreon, man. Thank you. You just unlocked over 1,000 podcasts.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
You nailed
Want
it.
some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
The Austin podcasts 24 and Chronicles are good though.
Yes.
I'm gonna watch the Drew one after your review.
Yeah, I think I'll watch that too, Easy. There was a couple other things I was supposed to watch too. Oh yeah, Stone Cold's last podcast with, I don't know, was it Jerry Lawler or somebody else? He had somebody on recently. I got to listen to that on the network. So there's still good stuff. It's just that, you know, I agree with you on everything you just mentioned, though I think is a thumbs up on the network. Thank you, Easy. But yeah, man, thanks for signing up on the $25 spot on Patreon. And shout out to all these other patrons, too, who are in there. These are the people that are at $25 or above on the Patreon. So it would be it's super appreciated that you guys went up to that level on Patreon. Thank you very much. We cannot do these shows without you. So super, I mean, dude, I can't thank you guys enough. You get over 1,000 podcasts immediately when you become a patron of at least $10. You get like over 1,000. $5, you get most things. Even $2 you get things, but $25 is going above and beyond for the producer credit, and for all the perks on the $25 spot. Some of these people are in the 50 spots. I mean, thank you for that. I think about got everything I want out of this Triple H conference. There's a little bit more. Let's
on him. So can you talk about what happened that maybe us as non-wrestlers didn't see it? Is there some excuse for that? And also just what you see in Rich in general.
I think he's a great performer, and I can tell you that across the board here.
You're breaking up there, Triple H. Yo, Six, thanks for sharing the link, man. Thank you.
Whether it's our opinions, and by ours, I mean as coaches and producers and all of that, our opinion, but he is seen very highly amongst the other performers here as well, and his skill set. The issue that he had with the Johnny thing was a little bit of a timing thing. It's a funny thing now that, and you just said it, people that don't do this for a living, or sometimes even people that do, there's such a fine
Hang on a minute, caller. I'll get to you in 1 second.
line in our business between something being sports entertainment and then something being very real. It's a very fine line. It's a very physical business, and it's a very fine line. And look, I have to say nothing more than that than Finn Bálor's on his way to get an X-ray on his jaw right now, just on a strike, and that's no one's fault. There's a very fine line. We do the best we can to make this look as impactful and as devastating as possible, with as little impact and devastation as possible at the end of the day, right? And real consequences. But it's not an exact science. So, you get timing wrong. One guy zigs when the other guy zags for a half a beat, and things are different. So the Ridge Holland thing was not a Ridge Holland screw up. It's easy to look at him and go, oh, the green guy. It wasn't that at all. It was just the timing thing and the way it went down. Especially when two guys have never been in the ring together before. So that's all that was. Everybody here is very high on Ridge. Very skilled, great guy, right human being. Really wants it, passionate about this, and people are not only excited about what he can bring to the table, they're excited to work with him and help get him there. And that's what I love about this business. So, yeah, I believe in him a lot, and so does everybody else here.
Fightful.com.
Great. Thank you for the time.
Yeah.
Fightful.com.
All right, relax, Sean. We get it. We know your website, Sean. Relax. Come on. Come on. Sean, do you really got to do that? Come on. Relax. Come on. Come on, dude. Really? Come on. Don't do that. Don't do that, Sean.
As with Marca, please go ahead.
Hey, Miguel.
Everybody can listen to this on Facebook. Whoever sent me this audio sent me Sean Ross Cyclops' audio. You assholes. How dare you send me the audio from him? This was on Facebook. This was free on Facebook. There was like 10 other people broadcasting it. You chose Cyclops' audio? Oh, the horror. I blame you, Bob. Bob is the one that sent me this audio. You, Bob, you piece of garbage for sending this. You piece of garbage. One of the biggest scumbags in all the world. You send me his audio. Disgusted am I. Disgusted am I. Oh, I'm going to puke. I feel dirty now.
It's amazing night. So, doing NXT TakeOver 31 has been...
Can't even hear this guy's question.
Moment, and...
I'm going to throw up now.
Florida, please go
Why didn't you send me Wrestling Inc.'s or, Dave Meltzer's? Anybody.
Hey, Paul. Really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. Great show, as always. I want to inquire more about the venue real quick here. How are the protocols for the COVID separation, as you alluded to with the pods, determined? And could you see this becoming a more permanent venue for WWE programming after the deal with the Thunderdome runs up?
No, I think that the intent is to stay separate. I think that Thunderdome, where it is, and I think that Raw and SmackDown having a different feel and a different vibe and energy is important. I think that, if they move from Amway, I think that will be to a larger facility, and to, if that happens, it will be to a larger facility, and it will.
I really think that WWE, I mean, now it's, it's a little colder out. We're getting towards the winter, but we're still in Florida, right? So why can't we still do the, why can't we do the beach thing? I don't understand why we can't do Bash at the Beach, or do the outdoor beach ring, have people, taped off a little bit in the background around the areas, have one side TV monitors, maybe the logistics of outside, I guess it could be the logistics of outside a little bit, right? So that could be a little bit of the problem. Let me go to the caller who's been waiting forever because I forgot about him. 256, hello.
Hello, Joe. What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just watch the pay-per-view. Was watching all different kinds of stuff. And my favorite thing was on the little thing on the network they had was Story Time.
Story Time. Was that the cartoon one?
Yeah, I like the first 2 episodes. The one they did, like Jake the Snake and Mick Foley and Triple H.
I was in the bathroom and Vince tried to suck me off.
Yeah, I know. I love Jake. That one was actually really good. I didn't give it a chance at first because I was like, the cartoon stuff. But it was cool because you're listening to real stories and they had the cartoons. My only worry was that it was going to be a little too censored. Like, hey, we're not going to tell the crack whore cum story or whatever.
Well, I thought it was going to get censored with the Ric Flair in the air and going to Hawaii thing.
Yeah, and I guess they didn't really censor it that much, so... And the cartoon made it funny. But I was worried with the cartoon and that they were going to be like, we're going to misleading. We're going to get kids listening to these stories. But, I mean, it was marked 20. I think it was marked TV mature or whatever. So, but I liked it.
The one with Bubba Ray and Shane was pretty funny, too.
Oh, the one with, I missed that one. I only saw one. I saw the Jake Roberts. But no, they were like sections, right? There was like one, then there was another and another, and in one episode there was like 3, right, or something like that.
And Mean Gene was like the narrator.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah, I barely watched it, so it seemed pretty good, but I didn't watch a lot of it, so I couldn't say.
And then, have you seen any of the when they did the WWE Untold series?
Yeah, the WWE Untold series. Yeah, some of that's been pretty good. I sort of. They all kind of blend together on some of those behind-the-scenes story things. There's been a couple of good Untolds.
They did. My favorite one was Sting's Last Stand. The one they did with Seth Rollins.
Right. That was the
whole freak accident thing.
Yeah, I probably saw that once, and it was way back when they did it, which was I think 3 years ago now. But unless I'm crazy, I feel like I haven't seen that in a while.
And then, of course, they did the Hell in a Cell, Mick Foley, and Undertaker one.
I also watched the, I watched that clip. I don't know if it was up on the network, but it was on YouTube. Was when it was like Shawn Michaels and Razor reacting to WrestleMania 10. But like they really didn't react to a lot of it, and it felt like it was shortened. I wanted to see them kind of watch almost the whole match and react to it, and instead it was very short.
I know there's one on YouTube where you can see, like, they did the Hell in a Cell with New Day and the Usos react. And they did one with 3MB and Hornswoggle, that match.
I didn't see that one, no.
There was a couple Royal Rumbles they reacted to. Now, my favorite one's when they had Charlotte and Becky in the room and react to Becky winning that 6-pack challenge or 6-woman elimination challenge at the SmackDown Live's first pay-per-view.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'll check it. I haven't seen it. I don't know if I'll ever see it, but it was.
All those are on YouTube.
Oh, really? Okay, well maybe I'll take a look. There's so much stuff on the network. That's the good thing is that there's so much stuff I still haven't seen that I could go in there and still get lost with it, man. Thanks for the call, man. But, yeah, it's just like, I don't know, dude. I just felt like they could have done more with the Razor. And I feel like Sean and Scott Hall could have really talked a lot more about the behind the scenes, what was going on during the match. They did a little bit, but it was like, I felt like they could have gone into a whole lot more that they really didn't go into. I really thought that could have been something better, man. I'm sorry about your mom, Cortez. Dude, that's awful news. That's crazy. I hope something can happen. I mean... That's terrible. I hope a Larry Funk miracle can happen with her. Sorry about your mom, man. And everybody. Just real tough times right now, You
shoot me? Joe, I swear to God, if you don't stop, I will shoot you, Joe Cronin.
Oh, my God. All right, man. All right, Bullfrog. Don't shoot me, please. Please don't shoot me.
Yeah, and tell that faggot Jake DeMarco to never be friends with me again. I'm tired of him blocking me. This is his second time blocking me. I thought me and Jake DeMarco was going to be fucking friends. Tell that little faggot to never contact me anymore. Fuck you, Jake DeMarco, you little fucking Joe Cronin bitch. You fucking yes man, Joe Cronin faggot. Don't ever fucking contact me again. You want to block me for a second time, you little fucking fat ass bitch? Fuck you, Jake DeMarco.
Jesus.
Hey, listen up, you Foxborough faggot. Next time a fucking Awandi or Bullseye or any of your fucking clowns from the fucking JCS Army, next time they want to call and blow up, harass my shit, I will take your fucking ass to court, Joe. I swear to fucking God I will. I will be the only one in this fucking community that will strike you down, and I will rage upon death among you, motherfucker. I will take your fucking ass to court. If you don't tell Awani, bro, they listen to you. They follow you. They worship you, Joe. They listen to every fucking word you say. You're their fearless leader. So if you don't tell Awani and Bullseye to please...
Because I'm in charge of what these guys do, right? I'm in charge of Awandi and Bullseye. Did you know that? I'm in charge of them. You better tell them to leave me alone or I'll punish you for it. Can you imagine if I just, like, decided... Like, I hate this about a lot of people. You know, JD does this stuff, too. Like, you better tell your listener not to do that. It's like, dude, they're doing it to you on purpose because it trolls you, dummy. Like, and Tommy and all these other people that do it. It's like, dude, I don't control these people. Stop blaming me for what other people do because you pissed them off. You pissed off somebody. Now they're fighting with you, and then you blame me? What the fuck do I have to do with it? God damn, you're a tard.
Awani and Bullseye to please stop fucking harassing me and my shit, and please tell your fucking community to leave me the fuck alone, or I swear to God, I will take you and your fucking wife to fucking court, and I will sue both of you, and...
I can't wait till you take me to court and I can play this for them. You shoot me? They're gonna love this clip.
Swear to God, if you don't stop, I will shoot you, Joe Cronin.
They're gonna love the threat to shoot me. They're gonna love that. It's like, dude, come on. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
How about this, Joe? For every time your community wants to blow up and harass my shit, I will flag and report your shit, motherfucker. Now, Joe, you want to fuck with me? You want to fuck with Bullfrog?
No, I don't want to fuck with you. I'm not even fucking with you. You're literally fucking with me. You're fucking with me because two other people are fucking with you because you fucked with them. Think about that. You fucked with them, they fucked with you back, and now you're fucking with me saying that I'm fucking with you. No. You're a fucking idiot.
How about next time one of your fucking clowns from the fucking community want to harass me, I will strike your fucking shit. You want a war, motherfucker?
Imagine wanting to end my livelihood all because a Muslim and a crazy person were fighting with you because you started a fight with them. It's a little bizarre, isn't it? Isn't it a little bizarre? And imagine shitting on Jake DeMarco. Weird. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, tell that faggot Jake DeMarco to never be friends with me again. I'm tired of him blocking me. This is his second time blocking me. I thought me and Jake DeMarco was going to be fucking friends. Tell that little faggot to never contact me anymore. Fuck you, Jake DeMarco, you little fucking Joe Cronin bitch. You fucking yes man, Joe Cronin faggot. Don't ever fucking contact me again. You want to block me for a second time, you little fucking fat ass bitch? Fuck you, Jake DeMarco.
Halloween Havoc is coming back.
Halloween Havoc.
Hey, thank you guys so much, man. I hope you guys all have a good week this week. Stay safe. Love you guys. Thanks for signing up on Patreon. Corrupted will be up in the audio. And Patreon was messed up tonight, too. They did tweet out that there was a problem all week on Patreon, so at least they confirmed that they're ridiculous. Thanks to everybody who signed up on Patreon. I will see you tomorrow for the Raw review and more. Thanks to everybody who donated tonight. And,
peace out, motherfucker. Yeah.